Me About, the Guilty Gear podcast where we talk about your faves and why you love them. I'm your host, Dee. Hello. And I'm very happy to say that we are here with a bonus episode of Tell Me More About because A.B.A is finally in Strive. Woo! I'm very happy. And you know, in a way, it's kind of like an anniversary video because, 6 months ago, A.B.A was the first character I did for this, and I figured, well, for this, why don't I get all the same people back, plus some new faces, or face, and we can just go over what's changed with her, what's new, everything that's cool. I'm here again with my co-host, Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hello.
How you feel about A.B.A?
I am very excited to talk about this freak.
She's a freakazoid that we all love and love.
This lovable freak.
And we are back again with Ramona. Hi, Ramona.
Hello.
I'm glad to have you back on, Ramona.
Glad to be here. Hello.
Next up, we have Nep. Hi, Nep.
Hello, I have played A.B.A for 5 minutes, and I'm here for the third time.
So real.
That's okay. 5 minutes of A.B.A is all you need. You know.
Yeah,
It's true.
Like
it's true. I
Rouge
learned the one
SA2.
combo I need. I need no more.
Yeah.
Next up, it should be a face all of you love, recognize, respect, and it is Melly. Hi, Melly.
It's Melly! It's Melly Monday, everybody.
Happy
Melly
Monday!
Really, Monday.
We should especially not upload this on a Monday.
Yeah, I can't because it would be April Fools.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have esteemed A.B.A artist and new face to the channel, Sinful Rat. Hi, Rat.
Hi, hello. I've never done this before. I'm kind of nervous.
You're
That's
good,
okay.
you're good. It's
We're just a
literally
bunch of fucking
social.
nerds hanging out, talking about cool characters.
Very real. Yeah.
So now I've got a really big question to ask you all. How do you feel about A.B.A and Strive? She's finally here.
She's my favorite
Love to
thing
see
in
it.
Strive.
I love this character. I'm honestly surprised at how similarly all of her moves function to her version in Plus R.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
And
100%.
very pleasantly so.
I've been seeing this from a lot of pro players as well, like Skeletal Minion. He's actually picked up the game again and is playing.
What?
It's so cool. And I've seen a lot of Plus R heads be like, yeah, no, she's still the same old character that we know and love.
I feel like more than any other returning character so far that A.B.A has really pulled so many old heads back into Strive. And like you said, the fact that Daisuke managed to adapt her, or the team I should say, not just Daisuke obviously, but the team managed to adapt her so faithfully compared to the kind of iterations that they've done. And not to say that she hasn't changed, but we could get into that later. But I don't know, it's just so amazing that with almost a decade or more time passing that this is still mostly the same A.B.A that people know and love, and it's enough that people who haven't even touched Guilty Gear as a franchise since she was last playable are like, I need to hop on this. That's great. AD was mentioning too, I think Romola hopping back on the Strive in honor of A.B.A.
I'm so
Crazy.
happy. My goat is finally back on Strive because of A.B.A of all characters. Not Johnny, not
Big
Alpha,
ups.
but A.B.A. I'm so happy.
Big ups.
She's so good for that.
And I guess they had to change some aspects of her because in Plus R she used to drain her health when she would go into moroha mode, but now it's all based off a meter. I kind of like the change. It feels pretty good. But how do you guys feel about that?
I think in a
It
game like
differentiates her
Strive,
from Nagoyuki a bit.
in a game like Strive, I feel something like that is very, very essential. With how high damage it is, I could imagine A.B.A losing lots and lots of health. In moroha mode. So them kind of ditching that and just focusing on it's still punishing if you don't manage your meter properly. Stuff like that, because you're stuck with it being empty and you're probably full screen and you can't really get it anymore. I feel like they adapted the punish mechanic very, very well from Plus R. It's very interesting trying to manage that meter and stuff like that, and learning combo routes that to work around managing that meter is very fun as well. It's nice lapping that.
It's really interesting. I remember for like Melly was saying that with Sin and A.B.A, they both had the same problem of Nago, jacking some of their shit with both Blood Rage and special canceling. So it's really cool seeing how both those characters got translated. And personally, IMO, I think A.B.A got translated way better than Sin did with respect to carrying over what made them good in other games. But yeah, I think she plays fun as hell. It's really cool going Goku mode and doing all this cool shit.
Yeah.
She's so Goku.
Yeah, 100%. She doesn't have okay, right? She kept Moroha mode, obviously, right? But she doesn't have Goku Moroha mode, which at first is kind of odd because Goku Moroha mode in Plus R was her win condition, essentially. It's the thing that gave her. It's basically Nago before Strive. You know what I mean? She can special cancel into other specials and stuff like that. She would still lose health, but it was still like the win condition, right? But in this game, it's not in it. However, jealousy mode it kind of retains some of it, honestly, with how crazy and insane it is. Because Strive is a very toned down game, and what Moroha mode does in this game is essentially make her a Plus R character again, and I think that works perfectly fine. The absence of Goku Moroha mode is completely fine since she controls like this, like already.
It's interesting too when you put it like that, like you know, going into Moroha mode was the complete win con for A.B.A in Plus R. You know, you land your command grabs and you get that there you go. You basically should win the round theoretically, unless you're against Justice with the 9-1 matchup. But with Strive, it's more like the balancing act of staying in jealousy as much as possible. It's really interesting too. I've been seeing on Twitter, like, you got characters like Diaphone and other people that are like, hey, here's combo routes that are not optimal, but they give you as much jealousy rage as possible. And I think it's really cool that she allows so much player agency between, hey, do I want to keep my jealousy and for the wall break? Do I want to go for optimal damage? Do I want to go for, like, a little bit of meter? Like, I think that's super cool.
And that actually kind of reminds me of how she played in Plus R, where a lot of times you wouldn't be ending combos to do the most damage, you'd be ending combos to get your health back. Just from, like, all the damage that you did to yourself.
If it wasn't obvious from the last time I did this episode and from now, I don't play a lot of Plus R, and I don't really know too much about A.B.A, so any info you can give me of her Plus R iterations and now would be super appreciated and cool.
Yeah. So, like, okay, right? So, right, you got the thing wrong. Goku Moroha is the install. That is her install in Plus R. That's the one I was talking about specifically. The mode she goes in normally is Moroha mode. That's just what it's called, right? Goku Moroha is the crazy like special cancel until
the one that's flashing
and stuff like that.
It's a super
where she goes blue and stuff like that. That's Goku Moroha mode. That's the one I was talking
about.
Sorry,
I had no idea there was even differences in things. Thank you so much.
No, yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Outside of that, like, what changes did she get between Strive and Plus R gameplay-wise? I think she lost a fireball and she lost blood bags, right?
Yeah, so
and
then in Plus R... No, go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say, and then, like, her normal mode super, it's not only a normal mode, obviously, and also it's... She can control herself during it.
Which super are we talking about?
You know, instead of, like, explosions, it's fucking the tentacles now. And
that's the same super, essentially. Well, I mean, essentially,
like, all
it's the same
functionally,
super.
It is.
Yeah. Except that it's kind of better, because it tracks the opponent, instead of just, like, directly in front of A.B.A.
And also, you don't have to input the follow-ups to it, it just does it automatically if you're in Jealous Rage.
Evidence Concealment was the name of the super that we're talking about.
Concealment?
In Plus R, yeah. And then Evidence Destruction is another super she got that got taken away, which I don't mind. It was the air super. It was kind of, to begin with. That's just me.
I know, much to the dismay of people that don't main A.B.A, that she kept Danzai, which was a huge part of her game plan in Plus R. It was super annoying.
And that was even Plus!
Was it really not Plus before?
Of course it
No, it was like -4 before.
It's strangely balanced in this game, though, to an extent.
Also,
I saw a lot of dooming before she came out, like, oh man, this super is gonna be so annoying, and then when it came out, it's like, oh wait, there actually is some counterplay here. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I would like to know what that is, please.
Oh, Danzai?
I have no idea what to do against it.
The counterplay to it is it's not an actual DP.
Oh.
It has
Don't get hit.
It has startup to the armor for it. So you can just maintain pressure on A.B.A and she won't be able to use it very well. Or you can grab her on the startup because it doesn't start immediately. That's usually the counterplay to it. Or just with flash. There are a few ways to... Yeah, exactly.
Dang, I was trying to go out manually.
I had some kind of theme-related thoughts about her gameplay, but try to get into that. Nep, did you have something to say about the changes to Moroha, or something else with regards to her gameplay?
No, the only thing I thought of was she doesn't have her fireball anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. As someone
think-
who has mostly played zoners until I started playing Sin, I like a good fireball.
Yeah, and I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, right, but I feel like for Plus R ABBA, that something like that was like super necessary, right? So has it been like a big adaptation for any ABBA heads playing her now to not have that fireball?
So like in Plus R, the fireball in Moroha mode specifically, because you could use it in normal mode, and it's like a fine fireball, right?
Mhm.
But
it's good for
in
neutral.
Moroha mode, you could, what is it, FD or FB, the thing?
Yeah, force break.
Yeah, force break,
Yeah.
right? You can force break, use it, right? And it works as Eno note, and that would be your main setup for Oki and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because even if you got hit, the hitbox would still linger and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So you would have to respect it, and then you would go into your mix and stuff like that. She would have an overhead in Moroha mode, and so on and so forth, stuff like that. She doesn't have that anymore. So usually, what she relies on for Oki would be Danzai or something. I usually see a lot of people once they transform, they do run up Danzai, which is a fine strategy as well.
With
Sorry,
regards
Melly,
to...
you're washed. You lost one time to me. It's over. You're over.
Melly is over
You lost
party.
one time.
Yeah. But yeah, with regards to the fact that she no longer drains her own health, I just thought that was pretty interesting and evocative in a game where we do have Nagaryuki, as I believe Net pointed out, who's in his Blood Rage draining his own health. I think it's supposed to be like evocative of the shift of her relationship with Paracelsus, where now kind of she's the one that's manipulating him, even though they both still have like elements of that toxic codependence before completing their arcade mode, obviously, where it's like, because the meter's got Paracelsus' face on it, it's his health that's being fucked with now. She doesn't have the blood bags anymore. She's messing with Paracelsus, but yeah, I wonder if that was intentional.
Like that. That's so cool.
Yeah. I wonder if that was what they were going for, and that's why they went for the gameplay change.
Why Paracelsus now goes all goopy? Does anyone know what that means, or is that just
So I think I've got a pretty good idea on what it is. I'll say mine first, and then others can give their opinion on it, right? So, what I see it as is ABBA's toxicity kind of pushing him away from wanting to be with her and stuff like that, right? So, okay, right? Before, he would just turn into the goat head, right? Which is like him controlling ABBA and stuff like that. Right. Yeah. It would be him making her ultra violent, blah blah blah, right? And so what it is here is like ABBA becoming, as we can tell, Paracelsus is a lot less violent in this game, right? You can tell right there, no violence line in their opening.
No.
So yeah, right. This, I kind of see it as him kind of struggling at an in-between, right? Because he purposely makes himself look like a key to appeal more to ABBA, right? Which I think is very cute, right? So when ABBA becomes more jealous, you can see him kind of like being pushed away and being stuck in this in-between between the key and what he looked like back in the Crusades, like with the demon axe and like and during her super, when it's like, this is ABBA at her like absolute worst with her reversal super. Paracelsus would revert completely back to what he looked like before, is my like working theory and how all of that works. So that's how I feel about the situation.
I think I more or less agree with that, and I'm pretty sure it even mentions in the bio that he's like being distorted by ABBA's desires or something of that notion.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I was like pretty much under the same impression that because like she's taken such a great control over him now, it's physically affecting him, that he's either like struggling to maintain the illusion of appearing as a key, or that it's just like her violent tendencies are kind of contorting him back into something that he doesn't want to be.
Yeah. And that does relate to the arcade mode, where they kind of come to terms with like being even with one another instead of controlling each other.
Yeah.
I really, really liked her arcade story. I was
It's my favorite.
I feel stupid in a way because being like, oh man, they made a really heartfelt story about a girl and a key and the wonderful romance they have, and I'm afraid I'm gonna sound like how people critique Steven Universe, where it's like, oh wow, they're all just crying all the time. What's up with that? And it's just sad feelings all the time. No, but I genuinely think it's really sweet how they touched upon like toxic codependent relationships and how they're both building from that point and where they are right now. I think it's really cool, and even how that reflects in gameplay, like how you guys were all saying. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying really hard not to like disrupt what Dee's saying because of what just happened on my screen.
I'm so sorry you didn't deserve that.
A.B.A moment.
What was that?
But yeah, no, I feel like she definitely does have one of the better arcade modes to have come out with the past few DLC characters, because it really is so thoughtful and interesting with its depiction of those toxic codependent relationships, because I feel like very rarely, especially once, you know, you start reaching young adulthood with relationships, the delineation between who is absolutely in the right and absolutely in the wrong becomes a lot more muddled. So to have a situation where it's like, yeah, both of these characters are kind of doing the wrong thing here is really interesting. And the fact that they don't make it as easy as like, okay, you know, A.B.A has to apologize to Paracelsus, or Paracelsus has to apologize to A.B.A, and then they just move on from there. It's both of them having a moment of recognition and then deciding independently, like, I want to move forward with this relationship. I think that that's like really cool and not at all what I expected from the A.B.A we got in her previous appearance. Like, I think this is such a unique direction to take her, one, but also two, so natural, right? Like, that's the other thing.
I was gonna say, like, in most stories, like, the way this kind of story would end is that A.B.A moves on from Paracelsus and she finds a new thing, and Para moves on and he does whatever. Like, that's how a normal story would go, but no, they generally are both like, hey, we both need each other in ways, and it's horrible that we both manipulated each other, but I don't want to leave you, and I think we can fix this. We're both misfits in this world, and I think there's something beautiful in that together. They do care about each other even after everything, and it's really sweet. Yeah. Like, oh, maybe a girl really can love her key.
Mm-hmm. They're just quirky little notes, really. That's really all.
Yeah.
I really wanted to
say that. I was going to say that.
The fact that the lyric is a quirky note in a symphony, I wanted to bring up so bad.
She's so
quirky. Oh my god, it's so good.
Melly, I cannot believe you were on the dot when you did your redesign and turned her into an emo girl, because that's what she is. She's quirky now.
Yeah,
she's so
quirky.
Yeah.
She's so quirky.
Is it time we touched on the song then?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to talk about the song. Oh my god.
The song's
godly segue. Really good segue.
When that song came out, it was so interesting going on Twitter, waking up that morning, and seeing every single person I knew all be like, well, Daisuke did it again. He topped it, and now I'm crying.
I genuinely think Symphony is like, it does everything a Strive theme.
There. That was bad.
In a sense, strives to do. Like, perfectly, right?
No, absolutely.
Goodness.
It works. It works as
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it works. It puts in character development, right? It shows you what the character arc is in a very nicely written song, and the song is really good as well. It is my favorite Strive theme, not because I'm biased and I love A.B.A so much, but it's like there's so much that goes into it that is like, I'm just happy with it. I'm content with what this is. Stuff like that.
Ramona, did you have stuff to say about like a Strive A.B.A.'s theme and like how you felt about it?
I kind of wasn't all that keen on it at first because I thought it was too, well, I felt it was kind of too in line with the pattern that Strive was going, whereas A.B.A she feels out of place, you know, which is literally a lyric of her song, but it grew on me. Between the organ from Keepin' Gates and the actual massive guitar from Quicksilver, like, it's so fitting for her.
It's
just
interesting too, like her parallels to Bedman in that sense, where they're both extreme horror characters with mechanical monstrosity, or not mechanical, but like inanimate monstrosities attached to them. that they both love very much, and how their themes came out as kind of discordant in a way, but still very heartful and soulful, where it's like, these are two very unusual pieces of music that grow on you as you listen to it more and more. Like, that's at least how I felt with The Circle, where I listened to The Circle for the first time, I'm like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, a lot of people listened to The Circle and were like, saying that it wasn't so good.
What's my end game there, Kate?
I love
Zero.
it, but I understood why some people found it weird. I was in that position with ABBA's theme, where I was like, this is a bit odd, but then like I listened to it a few more times, like, actually no, this is good.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I like the difference of ABBA's theme representing her own unity with Paracelsus and how they grow together, whereas Bedman's theme is literally Bedman himself saying, I'm gonna come back from the grave and protect you no matter what.
Yeah.
ABBA and Paracelsus' relationship kind of grew very naturally, I feel like. It didn't feel like some like ideal world kind of relationship.
Yeah.
In like a fictional world. It felt very much like something that could happen in real life. Except for the fact that there are homunculus and a key, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's so weird to think that, like...
I'm really happy it just became, like, it developed naturally. I was afraid they might make it
it was like two people who have like a bad relationship, but they
where
like do like each other and they do need one another.
What happened?
And like come to terms with like
everyone's quiet.
Who they are and like what they have done to one another, and then like
I wanted to say too, that the way Paracelsus expresses love by transforming into her favorite color, blue, and like it's such a small thing that just shows that he does listen, he does care, and ABBA was so afraid that he doesn't listen, that he's just a complete bystander to her self-perceived rampage. But the fact that they are both active participants in the relationship and that they are both working on it, it's so cool. I like it a lot.
ABBA collapsing the moment he turns blue, just like he turns blue, he's just like falls on the ground.
Melly, I think you had more to say. Sorry, I had Trigon on the mind.
Oh no, I was just thinking of ABBA.
I was just
smiling
of
and
ABBA.
blushing thoughts of ABBA.
One thing that stuck with me with the song, and I'm pretty sure stuck with everyone else, because I see everyone just quoting this one line, is like, I'm not here to fit in this world, I just want to make a difference. That line to me is like, I love it. I don't want to say beautiful because I think that's corny, but it is like, I love it so much. It's
How about touching? It's very touching.
She doesn't care if she's like seen as a freak or anything like that. She just wants to like leave and make a difference in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
One of the first things I noticed about the song is its name, Symphony, like referring to like the music thing, you know, it's like multiple instruments playing in like as one. And how ABBA's theme kind of represents how she doesn't quite fit into that symphony, but it doesn't matter because she's making a difference by being there. And that's what matters to her.
Something that got me is that Daisuke had a little interview after where he, first of all, disproved copper hair theory, which ripped copper hair. I was
Tragedy. Shmuel was a visionary. He remains a visionary.
It still resembles it, I think. I think it's still like referencing it, but it's not literally that, you know?
I feel like you should have said, I didn't think of that, but that's so cool. Do it.
Yeah.
But the other part of that interview was him saying that ABBA now exists, bettering herself and looking into fashion and trying everything that makes her happy in the world, but also wanting to create a place where other people like her can be happy. And we haven't seen what that means yet for the story, but I think that's really beautiful that she's even taking that initiative to do something like that. Like, she is a very, very lonely character. Like, the reason why she lashes out at so many people isn't even because she hates them, but because she feels... Yeah, she doesn't know how to act, and she's just feeling very lonely and insecure with herself. So, seeing that now she wants to help other people that have extremely unusual circumstances like her, like, that's really sweet. I didn't expect that from her at all.
Yeah, like, later on in the theme, like, I noticed it goes from, hold on, I need to pull up the lyrics to, like, make sure. Sorry, continue.
It goes from I'm just a quirky note to we're...
to we're just a quirky note. That was it, right? So it's like, it's like, I love it because,
it's like she's joined the symphony.
Yeah, exactly. It's her coming to realize that it's like, she is not the only person in this world that is, like, off-putting or different. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Her view of the world used to be like, everyone else is, like, different. I don't want to be around it. everyone is like they're out to get me, blah blah. You can tell by how jealous she is whenever a new person comes by and looks at Para or anything like that, right? She's against the world near the first part of the song, but like you can see her developing, and then later on in the song, like the arc is like completed, and she's like, there are other people like me. We're just quirky notes in a symphony and stuff like that. It's amazing. I love it so much because of that.
God, I really love like the little piano bits and how it gets so, what's the word for it? I guess ragtimey at the end too. Like with, obviously you were talking before about how impactful that whole ending section with I Don't Fit in the World is, but just I like how it sounds as well, where it really does feel like she's coming together and like accepting other people as part of society.
Daisuke went from like the megaphone filter to the gramophone filter.
Yeah.
It's so interesting too that A.B.A doesn't exactly fit in with how other characters perceive Strive's theme of you are not one but one of many, and as by being yourself you can love others. In the sense that A.B.A before really didn't feel like she needed anyone else. She self-perceived herself as being fine without anyone else. She had gone like 7 years without truly interacting with people after she left Frasco, and it was just her and Paracelsus changing each other with love. And now that she's actually forced to interact with other people, Testament, Elfelt, even Asuka supposedly, it's interesting.
I don't know about that. I think he just knows.
I think Asuka just knows
because he just knows everything. Yeah.
He's just smart like that. So cool.
I like the idea of Asuka opening up his book and being like, oh, now what the hell is this thing? That's very interesting.
What's this quirky little thing?
She had gone out into the world and like plus R and stuff like that, so she has interacted with people before, so it would make sense for him to
most of which
notice
was insulting Potemkin, but you know.
To me, you're the artificial life form.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is about her. She just hates Potemkin for no reason. It's really funny.
I know you talked about it before, but could I hear about it again? How does she hate Potemkin?
His body's weird.
He has a weird bone structure.
So she meets him in the arcade mode in Plus R, and Potemkin's like, weirded out by her a little, because who wouldn't be? And she's just like, no, to me, you're the one who's the weird bone structure, and that just hits Potemkin in a bad spot given his backstory.
Yeah.
A.B.A, that's not very nice, bad.
The one thing that he's super self-conscious about.
Like, in the story mode,
she says that, he just tells A.B.A to go away.
Like he's like, oh, hey, come to Zep, like, we can get you a body for your...
I remember now, yeah, we talked about, like... Yeah.
And then if you say no, she just like, no, I don't trust you. Your arms are way too long.
You're not gonna make my husband a good body.
Yeah.
Another A.B.A detail that I love a lot, that I wish they kind of, well, I mean, they couldn't really. Like, I bet once like Zappa gets in the game or something like that, because A.B.A has this nice little quirk where she can like see ghosts, and I think it's really cool.
Yes, she is able to see
such a fun little design.
It's real.
It's a fun design detail, stuff like that. Like even in her Isuka stage, where's her bedroom? I'm assuming it's her bedroom because there's a bed and stuff like that, right? You can see a bunch of ghosts just like hanging around the room and stuff like that. I just think it's really, really cool.
I wonder if that has anything, like, how would she see Bedman? Would she actually see the actual man?
That would be neat. That would actually be really
That actually makes me wonder, like, how do ghosts work in Guilty Gear? Like
seeing ghosts, it's basically anyone that's not human can essentially be able to see ghosts, I think.
Like, I feel so bad.
No, it's fine. I'm bad at Apple.
Melly, did you have something you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, I hope they add lines against Potemkin for A.B.A.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I don't even need her to apologize. If she's still rude, I think that'd be just as funny.
That'd be very funny.
Oh, it's you again. Your arms
You don't
are
look like a
century.
human anymore. What happened? Why are you a robot now? Some
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see A.B.A interact with Potemkin again, if only because I want Potemkin to be like, okay, so you did not want a body from Zep, but you put your key in a gimp suit now. I understand.
He's blue now.
Just circling back a little bit to talking about A.B.A.'s theme again, I think it's really, like, Daisuke did such a good job of capturing what I feel like is, like, a pretty clear nod to, like, the neurodivergent experience. I don't know if this is just me projecting this onto a lot of characters because I like thinking about it, but, the lyrics of, what is it? Words weave a stealthy chain and life is a maze woven with words really paints a very clear picture of part of what being exposed more to the outside world has done to A.B.A. as a person, and how closed off she's kind of forcing herself to be earlier on in her story, and increasing that toxic codependence with Paracelsus, because the notion that notion that like everyone is out there to lie to her because she can't understand them, that they're trying to get one over on her or steal away Paracelsus, because like just because there's that cognitive dissonance, I think is something that resonates so deeply with people who are like maybe on the autism spectrum or are otherwise neurodivergent. And I think this is something we talked about even in the original A.B.A. episode, the feeling that like you could be looked at like a monster by people when really you're just trying to live your life, and it's just a matter of, well, I don't understand why you people have to, you know, change the way that you speak. Like, why can't you just be very literal and clear? And I think in that way, the element of her favorite color being confirmed to be a deep blue you can see through is also like so genius and cohesive, right? That she loves Paracelsus even though he manipulates her because she can understand him. And then when he turns blue at the end of their arcade mode, it's like, oh my god, you're doing what you can to make my life easier. Unlike the other people that I see in the outside world, I can get you. I know what you're doing. Your intentions are clear to me. There's not like a nastiness woven through words that I don't comprehend, which I thought is like super duper cute. And I think really kind of plays heavily into the core theme of Guilty Gear, as I see it, of everyone being like an individually important firework. Because like A.B.A. starts not believing in the fact that she deserves love or happiness anymore, that she has to like closely guard it like a feral animal and lash out at anyone because like it could be taken away from her, that she doesn't deserve it, that one of these days like Paracelsus will leave her on her own accord, and recognizing like, oh, I don't deserve this happiness that I have, that it's illusory or transient, but then coming to that recognition of the fact like, oh, you know what, we can work on this. We are people who individually deserve happiness, and just by virtue of being alive, we deserve that. And I think that was like so great.
What thing you said, like a feral animal, and it's like, it's funny because her Japanese voice actor literally sounds like a feral animal in Jealousy Rage. It's like, amazing. I love the Japanese voice actor so much. Also, the sounds she makes when she gets hit are really adorable as well. So I also wanted to talk about the theme, but I think it's fine because I think the theme has like a lot to talk about, which I'm fine with.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot to talk about with A.B.A., which is super cool because, you know, original episode was like only an hour, and I just feel like there's so many avenues of conversation I've opened up with her. It's really
so
cool.
many avenues.
That's just my little splurge.
So
I do have a little thought of what might be coming for A.B.A., because I think we're going to get more A.B.A. lore with release of the next character.
Maybe more story content.
So we all know the next character, right? They kind of showed it off.
Yeah, Slayer.
Yeah,
Slayer.
Wait.
So Slayer does actually have a relation to A.B.A. in that he knows Paracelsus before Paracelsus was A.B.A.'s axe.
They also fought in one of the drama
CDs.
They did
meet in Plus R and talk to one another, and Slayer recognized Paracelsus, and they kind of had a thing going back and forth. I think they've waited to release Slayer until A.B.A.'s in the game so that they can have that be their arcade.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That would be so
cool. Thinking about it, who else is Slayer really gonna talk to other than like Zato?
Nago and Zato.
Yeah, Nago and Zato.
Nago and Zato, yeah, that's true. But like, I think
Johnny.
it would be cool if they had A.B.A. Johnny from Guilty Gear XR Red 2.
Honestly, I do think it could be interesting to have, you know, this isn't about A.B.A., this is about Slayer, but it could cool to have his arcade partner be Soul, because they have a past together as well.
It's true.
Oh yeah, they do fuck.
Also, this is totally unrelated to anything, but A.B.A.'s Color 13, the green one that I've been using, it changes all the bloodstains on Para and on her bandages to be fluorescent green.
I've seen some great mods for A.B.A.
It's
so
the
far.
ooze color.
The
The mods for A.B.A. so far have just been amazing.
Oh, they absolutely have. I really love the colors.
We've had Hatsune Miku from I forget Twitter users' names unless I'm looking directly at them, but it's a
They already
personal
have like
following.
her original hairstyle too. It looks pretty nice.
They modded in.
And then one I
my
saw
main
today, there's like that emoji where it's like the "Let's Go" emoji, but it's like super dramatic.
Let's fucking
did that,
go!
but they edited it over Paracelsus's face the entire game.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that because Paracelsus's voice actor has been really involved with the community because they really like the character, and they really like that mod, and they shouted it out on their Twitter. They're like, "Oh, let's check this out! Let's go!"
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Mods, real quick, right? I was really happy about it because day one, they modded in 2 of my main colors for A.B.A and plus R.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I drew one of them. One of them is like where Pear is purple and A.B.A is like lighter purple and stuff like that. I really like that color. That's a reload heavy slash, and they put in one of the other heavy slashes as well. And I just have those 2 colors.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, to jump back a little bit, Rat, you had something more to say about A.B.A's theme?
Yeah, so I just wanted to know what people thought of, like, each verse is just a bunch of words, right? So I want to see how people take it. It's like wisdom, patience, empathy, kindness, serenity, clarity, right? So I see that as A.B.A kind of like going through the world, either learning these words or repeating these words to herself to kind of remain calm or to, socialize a bit better. Like, obviously, I'm pretty sure most of us know the term like serenity now, right? It's a term you say to just like relax yourself and stuff like that, right? It's probably why it has so much emphasis in the theme, because there is a bit of a that part, right?
I think it makes sense to me too that maybe A.B.A is trying to achieve this because she can feel herself losing control when she goes into jealousy rage, and like this is just what she wants most of all.
Oh wait. I was just thinking, like, so it's like it starts off with those, but then like later it's like like creepiness, bothersome, depressed sickness, and then it says those are virtues of mine.
Yeah.
So it's like she's recognizing that.
This is what she sees in herself.
She's not great, but she wants to be better.
Yeah, I like that.
I saw it as a slight
self-reflection,
relation to Ramlafal's theme. I mentioned this a bit before this episode, but it kind of gave me the same vibes like Ramlafal's theme, and how it starts with Ramlafal like reciting different emotions and feelings because she doesn't quite understand them. A.B.A is like she understands emotions. She was made with emotions intact, but she doesn't really understand them because she's never like talked to people much.
She's also never been given a command that relates to emotions at all. So it's not like she's ever had to use them.
I thought it was kind of like sort of like referencing the similarities between them in that one doesn't have emotions but is trying to understand them, and one of them does but doesn't understand them at all. And
there's a lot of similarities between A.B.A's theme and Necessary Discrepancy with Ramlafal. Like you said, like they're both reciting virtues and things, and they both have very different definitions of what these words mean to them and understanding them and processing them. And for A.B.A, for me, when I was looking at the theme, it kind of sounded to me like in the beginning she's saying all these phrases and she feels like she possesses them already. She feels like she already understands all of this. Yeah. And because especially when it gets to the main chorus, it almost sounds very boastful that she's saying like, oh, creepiness, that's me. All these like words that you would use to insult someone, no, I gladly take them. This is me.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so impactful when the last verse changes to we, to not only represent her but Paracelsus, that, hey, no, she's actually breaking down this barrier and she's willing to accept other people.
Yeah. And a lot of the theme has a lot of triumphantness.
Yes.
And stuff like that. That is something.
And my last point, just about Ramlafal again, real quick, is that they are both non-human. Like Ramlafal was made by someone and A.B.A was made by someone. So like they do have like a connection. So if they ever interacted, I feel like they'd have a lot to talk about.
100%. Both like learning about the world and whatnot. Yeah. All that stuff.
Because like Ramlafal would technically be in better touch with her emotions despite not being able to feel them in A.B.A. So it could be like a weird like interaction of Ramlethal teaching someone else emotions that she doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And only being able to really recite what her friends have taught her, and it would kind of show you like a growth in Ramlethal and A.B.A. As A.B.A's able to listen, and Ramlethal's able to tell people what she's learned from people like Sin.
You know, as a completely, slightly unrelated thought, it's so interesting that when A.B.A came out, everyone immediately started shipping her with, like, May and Elfel and Bridget, when honestly, from the way you're talking about it, it kind of sounds like she'd be really, like, a perfect fit for Ramlethal, and, like, they both have... Ramlethal could balance out A.B.A's, like, explosiveness really well.
They could teach each other a lot, I think, if they interacted.
One of them, it's a nice dynamic. One of them's like super emotional and stuff like that, and the other one lacks a lot of emotions and stuff. It's a
like
fun
A.B.A's
little
super emotional, but
duo.
doesn't understand them and has like very little social skills. But then Ramlethal, with more experience, doesn't have emotions but understands them and is able to help A.B.A with what she is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I really hope they interact in a new story then. Like,
Yeah.
I think they'd be really good friends.
I'm so sorry, D. I just killed you that round. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to exploding.
Also,
A lot of
I am
There's
matching
one
and
thing.
I'm winning. Finally.
There's one thing I want to talk about too. So, regarding the stage, right? I'm gonna try and tie
Heaven's
this into
Edge,
A.B.A,
yes.
right? Okay, right. So, when I was seeing that A.B.A was gonna have a stage come with her, because the last two characters of the season always got a stage, I thought it was gonna be Frasco or Flask as they call it. I don't
Yeah,
know why they call
literally,
him
same
Flask.
here. I was so surprised it wasn't Frasco.
Yeah, so it's like what I thought was, Frasco. I wanted Frasco as a stage because I thought it'd be like you could get wall broken and you just like get thrown out like the front gates and you're in like outside of it now and stuff like that would have been awesome, right? But it's like,
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with them doing number one because Heaven's Edge is just really pretty, right?
Yeah.
It's not very technically demanding either. You know what I mean? It's a nice stage you can play and stuff, right? So it's like that's cool. But then I see it. It's like, that's the stage A.B.A's in her arcade mode, right? So it's like,
I really wanted to bring this up. A.B.A is one of the only characters to actually involve the stage with her arcade mode, and it's such a unique choice to have her story take place on Heaven's Edge. I made a little analysis thing about it the other day, and I think it's really cool that Heaven's Edge seems to be a place where all of Guilty Gear's women go to experience the unhealthiness of their own relationships.
Just to get broken up with.
But it's
the marriage counseling.
It's your world's #1 breakup spot.
Honestly, I'd say it's like a healing spot, though, because when Eno goes there, obviously she completely loses her sense of self, but Axel was there with her, and she's like, hey, if you ever need help with your own existential crisis, come to me. But then she completely forgets the relationship and goes on a megalomaniac power rant after, but,
Shit happens.
She's the only character that failed her Heaven's Edge examination, I guess. And Jacko finally seeing her lover once again after all these years and breaking his heart and breaking her own heart by feeling like she has to be a complete copy of him. A copy of Arya for him and neglecting what her own happiness could be. It's very sad, but then she eventually learns in Strive that doesn't have to be the case. And now we have A.B.A who goes to Heaven's Edge to contemplate, think, feel. And this is the place where she finally is willing to tackle the fact that, hey, she's been not the best partner to Paracelsus, the person that she claimed to devote her life to. She understands that this is a toxic relationship and that they actually work to be better people from here. I think it's really cool that they chose this really serene, beautiful, like, blue Greece location to have these kinds of things. Just really fun writing decision, I think. Very cool.
I like how parts of the stage are, like, lived in too, but you, like, break into the other parts and it's, like, kind of dilapidated and old and kind of abandoned and stuff like that. I think it's really nice. Like, some of the shops, I'm assuming they're shops, I don't know what they actually are. Some of the shops
I like
have,
the ocean part.
Cracked windows and stuff like that. Cats everywhere.
There's the one section where all the buildings are torn down and water has started going over the roads and stuff, but there's only a couple cats now, like, sleeping peacefully. It almost, with two parts of the stage, it almost looks like the place is peaceful because there aren't people there, which is very interesting, seeing that Guilty Gear is completely about people, but...
But there's also people 100%. Playing and having fun.
Yeah, in the first part of it. Little girl swinging. Escalator for some reason.
Yeah. She's on a different frame rate, too, than the rest of the stage. It kind of bugs me a bit, but... But I think it goes without saying, like, for me, Heaven's Edge is my favorite stage in the game. For this and Exerd, I like it a lot. I would say that the train from Exerd is my favorite, but it kind of gave me nausea whenever I played on it.
That's my favorite stage, too. I like that stage a lot.
I like it because it gives my opponents nausea, and then I get an advantage.
So true.
We're not throwing on the lag switch anymore, we're throwing on the vomit switch.
Throwing on the train switch.
I really wanted to talk to you guys and see what your thoughts your thoughts with A.B.A talking to both Testament and Alpha and how you felt about their relationships.
I think Testament fits. It's like, Testament used to hate humanity and stuff like that, right? If I remember. I'm not the biggest Testament fan, I'm just going off what I know,
Yeah,
right?
you're
So
right.
it's like,
You're right.
Testament kind of talking about, and also like a lot of self-reflection, because I know Testament back then is like, I'm not very proud of what I was before, right? So it's like, Testament helping A.B.A do self-reflection is very fitting, stuff like that. And then Elfeld, obviously, because it's a love theme, so yeah. Who else, really?
I think it's so interesting, too, that A.B.A.'s arcade mode happens, and she's worried about being a horrible human, and that she can only be a homunculus, so therefore she cannot identify with anyone else, and that's why she sees herself as worse than everyone else, at the start, of course. When her arcade partners and the people that try to approach her the most are Testament, a non-human, a gear, and then Elfeld, a Valentine who is also not human, but they both had arcs about learning to become human again, and all these things. I thought that was really
It was like almost
cute
what
and
I
clever.
wanted from Ramlethal, but like we got it with Alpha instead, basically. Which makes sense because it is a love story, so like of course they do the one who is very much into that. I do find it funny that most people's arcade modes is like usually we end up meeting someone who means something to them or like someone they know. I mean, Abba's is just, oh look, it's Alfeld. Who are you? You're just here because of a romance story.
Yeah, and like I think your like intro against Alpha was like, this is scary. Let's run.
We gotta go.
And everyone else in the arcade mode meeting someone who means something to them.
This
And then
guy's
Abba just
horrifying.
like,
I gotta
who
get out of
is
here.
this? Why is she here? And Alpha's just like, ah yes, a love story is blossoming. I must be here.
And then like the stage 9 opening is like them essentially telling her to fuck off. I think it's really funny. So they can do things. So they could just do something
God,
on their own.
Abba's win quote with Bedman though. Are we going to talk about that or?
Oh wait,
I
sorry,
don't
did you
know
say
what it is,
Abba's win
actually.
quote with Bedman?
Abba's win quote with Bedman. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think we-
Oh my god.
For those who are unaware, when
being
Abba
silly.
defeats Bedman, she says, "Oh, honey, we don't need a bed. We're fine just as we are," or something along those lines.
No need to be shy.
Yeah.
No
She's
need
just
to be
freaky like
shy.
And I think it
She
loops
fucked that
into
key.
the fact that Abba is a
100%.
sexual character, but not in the ways that are traditionally sexy. In a very, like, what is it called? Like, she's got leather things, she's got her belt,
Yeah,
she's
the
very
BDSM
young, very
stuff is
tight,
very
she's
evident,
BDSM.
She put a key in a gimp suit.
Like look at Paracelsus's face in the win quote as well, just like
Whoa.
as she strokes him.
Yeah.
That is,
should I-
they know what they're doing.
Should I send the artwork I made of Para in the gag ball? Is that going to be thematically?
Oh my
yes.
god, yes.
All
It's
right.
thematic, it's fine, it's fine.
No, just circling back a little bit to Abba's relationship with Testament, I think it was super cool, and I really do enjoy a lot of their interactions. I also think it's really, it like kind of cuts to a bit of the core of her character in Strive, the way that she views Testament when she meets them. The specific insults she levels at them. How rude, faking civility, proudly ignorant. And then in relation to her theme and kind of my own interpretation of it, that kind of relates to how I think everybody else was viewing it, that the mortifying ordeal of being known, right? And Abba believing that she possesses all of these virtues already, but the world is complicating things for her, that she thinks that she's kind and that she's thoughtful and she's loyal and responsible, but it's just like, I can't articulate that in a way that the world will accept. So I'll instead happily wear the creepiness and the weirdness with pride. And I feel like to Abba, Testament is kind of a possible endpoint for her, and it frustrates her that she's not there yet, if that makes sense.
Oh,
because Testament
absolutely.
is someone
Her intro with Testament is her saying, like, oh, I didn't think someone could change that much. Oh.
Yes,
and I wonder, like, it's like you said, it completely frustrates her that this person has changed from... Testament was so fucking depressed in the older games, and it was the kind of depressing where you did not want to be around Testament, where it's like, Testament's the kind of person making those jokes like, oh, it'd be better if I was dead, kind of.
Oh, yeah. I told this to Dee, like, the day I heard the song, and we both, like, agreed immediately. A.B.A.'s theme gives off a very similar vibe to Testament's theme in regards to the person.
Yes, absolutely.
In regards to them, like, they are in a better place by the end of the theme, and you can tell immensely. That's probably why A.B.A. and Testament have my favorite themes in the game. It's like there is a sense of growth that you can see in the theme and stuff like that, and it just makes me. It's a fake character. It's not real, but I'm happy for them. For some reason. Like, I'm happy at where they are, about where they
circle back to what you were saying about their intros, where, you know, A.B.A.'s like, oh, I didn't know someone could change so much. Where, like, Testament's response is just like, I could say the same to you, too. So it's like he... Yeah. Like they recognize that, like, A.B.A. is changing as well.
Yeah.
Just from being outside so much and just experiencing the world.
I think it's cool because it's also...
Yeah, Jay?
Invoking that, like, very human pain of the insecurity that comes with seeing someone who started out in a place similar to you and is where you want to be, but you're not there yet. I feel like that's a lot of what's going on with A.B.A. and Testament, and I think that you see that, too, manifest with their other intros with each other. I think A.B.A. says, like, what is this, also fate? If I'm not mistaken. So I think not only does that point to how, you know, she's looking at Testament, but also a little bit the way that her worldview is changing. And it just kind of harkens back to what I've been saying about her character already. The notion that, like, you know, she's become really fatalistic and she's projecting onto everyone else what she's thinking about herself right now, which is that, like, I don't even deserve to be where I am. I'm not doing well enough. Someday someone's going to come take this away from me. So
it kind of feels like she's living like every day is her last with Paracelsus in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to see someone that she perceived as fatalistic and someone that she perceived as worse than her as being better than her, I feel like that's a very human emotion as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've all had that moment in our life where we were at a very low spot and we see someone that was very similar to us and they're happy now. And it just makes you feel like, well, I'm doing something wrong. I clearly just don't like this person. And instead of tackling what's actually wrong with me, I know that for a fact that is something I have felt. And seeing that reflected with A.B.A. is so cool. I saw a close friend of mine say that Guilty Gear is not for them because all the characters are just nice all the time. And I disagreed with that so hard. But
I mean,
also...
A.B.A.'s a jerk a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Characters like A.B.A. willingly having that ugliness on display with how she speaks and how she feels about herself. And I think having Testament as her arcade partner is so smart too, because Testament doesn't take her shit. Testament is very supportive of her and wants her to get better, but doesn't take her shit. And explicitly says, like, oh, you know, you're just throwing a tantrum. You're being a child. I'm saying this as a fact because this is the truth. This is what you're doing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to leave you. I just want you to help you figure things out.
Yeah.
100%.
I also really appreciate that in the arcade mode, Testament doesn't, like, explicitly say what's going on with Paracelsus or anything. He's like, you're rash, but you're not stupid. You already know.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, not patronizing A.B.A. at all.
I can't remember if we talked about it yet or not, but I think it's a genius character moment, too, that A.B.A. recognizes she had bad tendencies about herself. That's a very strong thing for someone to do. Like, and I think a lot of people, when they look at this character, they think, oh, she's just completely delusional, and, like, she's just this crazy girl, and that's why I like her. But there's the added layer that this is behavior she is purposely doing out of fear, you know?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Like, in the ending of her Only Good arcade, not, like, only good, as in, like, the good mode instead of extreme, where she's like, oh, I guess we should just not see each other anymore. I'm perfectly aware of the fact that this has been, like, a toxic codependent relationship. Like, she is very evidently extremely aware.
And she's, like, crying about it.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
I got really emotional at that part. I'm gonna be real.
I know, yeah. The VO did such a great job.
My God, D, that comeback, holy.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
to
thought so
Abba's
cool.
animations
I was
as well.
sitting here like smiling to myself.
The
I love
animations,
Abba's
yes.
animations. So I just watched myself get hit and beat up a bunch, as I do. And as Abba's like flying through the air, she does like multiple spins. She does like 5 spins in the air just on her side, and then just collapses and hits the ground like a body.
She has the best wall split as well, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Her that is
She
so
does- she-
perfect.
In like a weird way, she looks like a corpse being flung through the air, but in a sense,
Yeah.
it's fitting.
For sure.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
She
actually.
just spins rapidly.
I gotta
It's really
say, I
funny.
was so worried when A.B.A was implemented that she wouldn't keep her very ugly and expressive expressions. That sounds redundant to say, but I'm very
Yeah.
glad to say that they kept that aspect of her and that she
Yes.
grits her teeth. She's biting the key at every opportunity that she can, like the little straps. She's
She got wrinkles on her forehead when she emotes. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
that
Yes.
that means a lot to me. You know, just that like that they would let a female character have wrinkles on her forehead.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's really cool that she's portrayed, I think, so faithfully to the A.B.A that we know, while also kind of changing her in distinct ways because of her trying to embrace like popular fashion. I think that that's really cool, that even though she kind of looks a little bit more like a model, she's still the same old A.B.A at her core, where
She
she's
still wears pants as
being
a top.
weird. Yeah, she still wears pants as her
she's
shirt and as her
quirky.
pants. No, but it's really awesome. She's madly expressive. It's great.
She
I want-
upgraded from a single pair of pants as a shirt to 2 pairs of pants as a shirt.
Wow.
Melly, my life has been made since that first podcast episode where you told me she has pants as a shirt, and I'm
Yeah.
It's
so happy they
awesome.
kept that.
There's
Yeah, okay,
concept
that
art
was
of
actually,
that
like-
little thing zipping and stuff like that. It has a zipper on the front of it.
Oh my God.
That was actually one of my biggest fears, aside from just them de-weirding her. Which I'm so glad they didn't. People were saying they
I
were.
know.
I don't know where you got that idea from. Look at her.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
But like,
Look at the,
the pants shirt,
outro
because
animation.
in so many
Like,
people's
Yeah, exactly.
in so many people's like fan redesigns for like a Strive A.B.A, she would be wearing like an apron or like a straight jacket, but like not without the like
Yeah.
just with her
My
arms free.
design-
But
My design made
I'm
her like Edward
so-
Scissorhands and stuff like that with the body.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that was so genius still.
So
Is now a good
happy
time to
that
bring
she
up
still has a
both your
pants
and Melly's
shirt.
designs for A.B.A?
Yeah. Should I send it? I don't think I sent it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll post mine. I also recently drew it with longer green hair.
The green hair.
Melly, I gotta say, the ponytail is so genius. I really loved how it looked. It looks so cool.
Thank you.
She looks
I
like,
like
a
A.B.A
Cookie
with
Monster
long hair.
pajama pants girl.
She is that to me. She's like if a Cookie Monster pajama pants girl smoked way more cigarettes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh no, ABBA. Where
But
did
also,
she
I
get
feel
them?
like if she smoked cigarettes, she would cough on every single.
She would
Yeah,
die.
what
If she
ABBA
smoked
smokes
cigarettes,
cigarettes?
I
She
think
would
she'd
die.
collapse
No,
on the
she-
spot.
She would choke, and her lungs would instantly fill up with blood.
Mhm.
One little design or animation detail. They didn't put this in Strive, and I was very sad about that. During it, like the stagger animation specifically, it's the
Mhm.
same. She still covers her mouth and stuff like that. But in plus R, she would be
She
spewing
vomited
blood
blood.
out of her face. Yeah, and Para would try and lick it up and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
can see him
yeah.
sticking
Oh,
his
that's
tongue
so
out and
cool.
trying to lick it up.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if Para was like, because I was looking at this frames the other night. I'm not sure if Para's trying to lick it up or if he's just like, bleh, you
Yeah,
know?
his tongue is out. I like
But,
to
like,
see it
it's-
as him trying to
it's-
lick it up.
Yeah, it's
I
going
like
all
how
over.
they
I
kept
think it's
some
really
of,
funny
like,
if he's
the
trying to
blood,
look it up, but
Because I thought they might go, like, obviously they're going to probably go slightly away from, like, the gory kind of stuff, just because it's, like, a more modern game.
I am
Yeah.
happy that she's still
And
covered
that's,
in
and
blood,
that's kind of
though.
the direction that games have gone recently, but
Mm-hmm.
she still has, like, the bandages, the blood stains,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
all of that.
Para's
So
still covered in blood.
I was
Yeah.
kind of sad that like because there's a okay, this is me knowing because I study the fuck out of like all of her frames because I just have her sprite sheet saved on my computer.
as you
right?
do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
are
that's
many
cool.
there are many animations where she is like using para and she's cutting herself in like process of it. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
wanted to bring that up.
Yes.
I don't know if this is a place to bring up slight criticisms, because obviously I hope I've expressed I really do love A.B.A. I think she's really
yeah.
cool and a great addition to the game.
I don't mind that it's gone, but it's understandable why it's gone because I
Yeah.
swear to God, like her blood ball,
Yeah.
she like little trigger warning. I don't know if people are gonna be upset about it. But,
I don't think so, but
she cuts her wrist on the edge of Para and shoots the blood ball out. That alone would make the game like M-rated, I think.
Yeah.
Like now, so it's very understandable as to why they would take all of that stuff out. I don't mind.
Or
I
even
think all of her
just like
animations
on
are
her
fine.
like original like moroha mode like jumping slash, or I'm not sure
She's
if it's
cutting her
slash or
calf.
heavy slash,
Her
but
calf is getting cut.
she slams her hand down on the blade to like make it spin around in midair and hit you with the blunt edge.
She never does anything at a 5. Everything is at a 12 out of 10 for her. Like, if she needs, I need to get some blood to do this, she is smashing her arm onto the key, slicing it, and it's very grotesque, and I really miss part of that grotesqueness of her. Obviously, she's in a better place right now. She's not as tormented by her loneliness as she once was, but I think I really liked those aspects of her and how she depicted both
like
the
her normal
horror
super
and
in the
mental
original
health
games,
angles.
like it was she would like summon those huge explosions with like the mercury from her blood.
She would smash her
and
arm
it would,
into the ground, and it would do that.
she would
explode.
And like you could see like the explosion of blood when she like
the viscera
slammed her arm through and it's like the blood is like crawling up her arm, and like you can see like her arm exploded. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's fucking gone.
The
And then it
old
regenerates.
The old animations were perfect.
And Para was like horrified by that.
Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite Para face. Like genuinely,
He's like, holy
it has like really dramatic shading on it and stuff like that as well. But like,
it's got like hatching and everything.
one of the things that I miss about her old animations, it showed very well how durable she is, because she is a tank. She is a tank. I'm glad they kept her high health and strive.
Yeah,
but like
I was gonna say, when I go against A.B.A, it takes a lot of hits to get her to go down, which is really cool.
She is canonically, like, she can fight Slayer and do well, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they don't show that a lot in Jealousy Mode, obviously, because of how, like, brutal she is, but, like, the one animation I can tell where it's like, yeah, you can tell how strong, like, A.B.A is her win animation in Jealousy Mode, where she flips Para onto her shoulders, and you can see the ground beneath her, like, crack and stuff like that. It is very good at that. I would want more animations like that to show it, but I'm fine with how it is now.
Yeah.
I really like how satisfying the wait is between A.B.A and the key, and that goes for plus R and this game. I really enjoy how much she lugs that thing around, and then as soon as Jealousy hits, she gets high adrenaline and she just swings it like it's nothing, and I really like how satisfying all the hit noises are,
like
the metal clanking, like, very cool.
Like, I love just like her, I mean, her dash in this game, she's like, ugh! And then like her back walk, she's like, has to like put her full weight into it, but then as soon as she's in Jealousy Mode, she can run like crazy.
Not even touching the ground. He's not even on the ground anymore.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love both the Moroha Mode and Jealousy Rage like run animations. They're very different, but
they're horrifying.
Dude, like her mouth like wide open, her eyes like
it's so good.
Her arm like waving. Dude, she's an animal.
Yeah. No, that's something that I wanted to bring up too about her animations in Strive, is that they did such a great job of capturing her desperation and that feral rage that I was talking about, and then also just like how genuinely sweet and kind she is with Paracelsus. Like, I love when you're blocking with her and she's like gently stroking him or looking at him with such like big pleading eyes, versus like how she looks when she's running towards the opponent, where her eyes are wide and small and she's really like lunging at you like claws forward. It's
like,
really so great.
She constantly has her arms around Paracelsus.
Yeah. The way she suplexes Paracelsus is my favorite move in the game, because it's really satisfying.
Her 6H, this one,
yeah, it's really funny.
I wanted to take some
Dude,
time
he
to talk about
on the ground too. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty sure when he does that, like A.B.A looks at him like, "Oh my god, what happened?"
Yeah.
And then she like picks it back up and stuff like that. Yeah. Really
I wanted to take some time to talk about the biggest difference between Plus R A.B.A and Strive A.B.A that we've neglected to talk about yet, and it's her hair. How do you guys feel about the changes to her hair? Now she has long hair, it's tied back in a headband.
It kind of shows that time has passed, and then also like she's using the headband, so like she's trying to be neat, but like she's also still a bit scrappy with it.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I think
like-
it really represents her restraint really well.
Yeah.
Yep.
First thing
Queen
I
for
said
jealousy.
to Jay, we were sitting in a car together when she was announced. First thing I said was, "Oh God, I hate what happened to her hair. Where's her short red hair? I like short hair, like girls
They
a lot."
oxidized my girl.
But I think it literally was with Shmuel's theory about copper hair that I was like, wait a minute, no, this is really cool. And then when I played her in game, it's like the fact her hair is so loose and flowy, and the fact that it feels messy, and like she tried to maintain herself by just putting it back in a headband, but it didn't really do that much for her.
Yeah.
People were saying it's like, oh, she looks so much cleaner now. It's like, she looks really greasy.
Yeah.
She is a mess, and she does not know how to look after herself, but she is doing her best.
Yeah. I personally, I like the hair, right? I always drew A.B.A with really long hair, so I was happy to see that they
I
gave her
did
long
notice
hair.
that about your art style. You did have long hair. And I really
Making
like
her
your art
hair
style too
longer
because of
makes
how
it
strandy you
easier.
make it and like how sharp your lines are. Your art is so good.
Thank you. Anyways, in terms of animation, right? This is specifically seen in He is King, that super. The Jealousy Rage one. The way the hair flows and stuff like that helps convey the motion of the animation a lot better than how it would look with short hair and stuff like that. I prefer
Literally exactly what I was about to say. You get the weight conveyed so perfectly because of that secondary motion of her just yanking her body back and forth as like she's tethered to Paracelsus as a huge weight. Like it's
both of
genius.
her KO screens. I want to draw all of them because the angles that they do when the supers kill are very cool. I like them a lot.
Yeah,
I did just notice that Paracelsus glares at the opponent when they hit A.B.A as well.
Yeah, no, it's very cute. They do love each other. But
also his eyes go like wall-eyed a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. His eyes are so silly.
I was surprised by how much they animated Paracelsus in this game. And
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Did you
I love it
see
so
that
much.
one image one of the animators posted? I forget people's names, but one of the animators posted a picture of
The
all of
blender rig.
Yeah, all of his like bone rigs and stuff.
That is the that's like the mesh. I forget the exact word, but
Yeah,
it's,
there's like the mesh, and then they have to like do stuff like
and,
make it actually
and there are
animatable,
like
but-
there are like control rigs, so you're not actually going to be working with all of those bones.
Yeah, I saw
like
that,
that.
But it is really funny to think
But,
about just
yeah,
that many.
it is. But still, like just to show like
Mr.
how many
Ishiwatari,
bones there
this is
are in this almost two-dimensional creature's face.
This funny keyman
just
got
to
too
make
many
him
bones
so
in him.
expressive.
Mr. Ishiwatari, this is a circular key with a funny face. We're just gonna implement it into Strive, and it just sits there. What? No, you should. This is like a whole guy. You just
Make him a
give him
cartoon
the most
character.
animation in the game.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's kind of cute that like Paracelsus has like ears now. Like they really took a lot of.
He's
They-
always had that.
Yeah,
He did have
they
it,
were
but they
always
weren't very
floppy,
animated previously.
but they definitely are more animated now. Which oh my
They really took
Wait,
the
also,
opportunity of it
is
being
there,
in
like, film
Strive to
grain
fully animate everything.
on her intro, there's like film grain.
Yeah,
I just
there is.
noticed
It's
that.
kind of like
That's
it's
so
kind of like the
cool.
horror kind of theme that they use in horror movies.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. She's got a lot of
really
similarities
so
to Faust in
very
that sense too. I kind of wish her
Yeah.
and Faust interacted because she looks like a medical patient.
Faust and A.B.A together would be so like.
Fatty. Sorry.
Jay,
Like
do you
with
mind
how Faust looks now.
doing for me if you could look up if A.B.A and Faust had any interactions in Plus R that were interesting?
Yeah, absolutely.
They fought in the story mode once, and then
Yeah,
she
I think they did.
helped give me a
I'm
body.
pretty sure-
Faust saw her and was like, "Oh, do you need medical attention? Because you're like."
Yeah, I remember that. She's
Yeah,
covered.
I'm
He's
pretty
drenched in
sure
blood.
he's the first fight, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're covered in blood. We need to operate on you right now."
Yeah.
And then
then
he's like,
he tells her
"You're
to go to, like-
scaring me."
Yeah, he tells her to go to ZEP or something like that. One of the organizations to find or to
Mhm.
find
Oh,
help.
and that's how it leads into Potemkin stuff.
Yeah.
That Dr. Baldhead lied to me,
And-
no, but she does have a win quote against him as well, where she says, "I can't drop anything on your deaf ears. Don't come near me. Don't touch me."
Something I am a little bit sad about is that they did kind of drop the part of her personality where she just says a bunch of idioms incorrectly.
Yes.
I know, I really liked that part too. I do
When
at
it
least like
rains,
that they
it
kept the aspect of her.
snows.
I like that they kept the aspects of her personality that she speaks very flowery and that she likes poetry and things like that. And have Testament interact with that too, where it's like, Testament doesn't shut her out for that at all. In fact, like, they even say like, oh wow, you're very well spoken now, aren't you? But you're kind of avoiding what the point is.
That combo, I feel so cool.
You know, maybe she is just a little quirky.
I feel so good at this game when I play A.B.A. Like,
she's so much fun.
I love A.B.A.
Yeah. A.B.A. Heart, lesson 3.
Actually, real quick, I hate to interrupt here, but I think I actually have to go. I'm so sorry.
Let's switch partners again.
Oh,
Yeah, that's no problem. Thank you
so much for
joining us,
joining us.
Ramona.
Yeah, it was really great.
We're probably still going to go on
see
for
ya.
a little while, but thank you so much for joining. Here,
Of course.
Yeah.
it was nice
Ramona,
talking.
thank you for joining.
Bye. Bye.
Circling back a little bit
I like
to
Ramona.
A.B.A.'s
I
hair.
like Ramona so much.
Yeah.
But circling back to A.B.A.'s hair, I think it was really cool. I didn't really like the shift to green at first, but it's super grown on me, especially when I feel like the intention is to just, like, really heavily communicate that jealousy is supposed to be a core theme of her character, and
Yeah.
you know, the green with envy thing. But I think it's supposed to be more deeply about not just people who have healthy relationships, but like people who have a healthy relationship to their vision of themselves, right? And I think a Testament again comes back with this, but you know, with escaping her confinement, she not only gets to enjoy the beauty of the world, right, but she also gets all of that insecurity that comes with the mortifying ordeal of being known. It forces her to confront the fact that she's been sheltered and she's maybe not as far along as she would like to be. So I thought that was like super cool. The more that I thought about it, I was like, oh,
There was
I see
also
now.
another theory that I heard that I thought was kind of silly. I forgot who
Let
made
us
it.
know.
It was she tried dyeing her hair blue because that's her favorite color, but the blue dye kind of fucked up.
Because
Mhm.
the thing is, like, when blue dye washes out, it turns into that, like, ugly green color,
Yeah.
which, personally, I actually like it. I actually
I don't
liked it
think that
whenever
color's bad at all. I like that kind of
Yeah.
grayish green. I think it looks
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
Like, when I dyed my hair blue, it's like, you know, I had to, like, keep it up with, like, this blue shampoo. Otherwise, it would, you know, turn that green color. And then when I stopped doing that, it did turn green, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Another thing I like about the green, I like how there's like a contrast between like the red and the white predominantly on her design in the old game. But I do enjoy how the green that they chose isn't as vibrant as the red or orange. It is orange, but I just color it red because I think that looks better. But
Yeah.
It's red in
helps-
game.
yeah, it helps fit it. It's more cohesive with the white because it's a grayish green. It's more washed out. It does give A.B.A. a bit more of a clean, uniform color palette rather than something that's more contrasting like it was before.
But also,
Yeah.
I think it helps too to show the blood and the goop with
Yes,
Paracelsus
yes,
if
yes, yes.
there's a contrasting color on her head. I also really like striking reds whenever I draw. I always use very, very sharp, as saturated as
you're
you
really
can go
good at
reds.
I love it.
But I'm really digging the greens too, and I think there's a lot of credence to that theory you mentioned because I just noticed her shoes are more blue than her hair. So I wonder if she dyed her hair to match her shoes and then she messed it up by the hue.
She took her first shower in years, and it washed out. She didn't
Never
know.
again. No more showers.
And now would be a good time to mention too, it's a question everyone must ask at a time in their life with a Guilty Gear Strive character, but how good are A.B.A.'s shoes on the shoe tier list? Are they Oscar tier? Are they Sin tier?
I like them. I think they're pretty
I
neat.
quite like
I
them.
like platform boots.
Nice.
Platform
They're definitely not
They fit.
RG tier. I can say that with confidence.
Yeah. Anji
Dude,
has some
everybody's-
fucked up shoes.
Well, the thing is, like, Ani's shoes, it's like, they're like traditional sandals. Like,
Oh,
Except
you,
they have
no,
trainers
no.
attached.
No,
you have not seen a
those aren't-
close-up.
those-
the bottom of them are. The bottom of them
Okay.
are.
Yeah, the
They're-
bottom
they're
of them
smart,
are, but then they become
they
trainers
do
for some
zip up.
reason, and it's like, what did you do to them?
those aren't socks. Those are shoes. That took me like a while
we
to
need a new
figure
tier
out.
list. Just how often does this character shower?
And ABBA is at the bottom.
It makes me wonder,
Once
did she...
every decade.
Daisuke said, too, that ABBA's biggest interest right now is fashion. It makes me wonder, did she walk into a store covered in blood and grease and smelling weird and being like, can I get these shoes? My husband said he's treating me today.
I think
Yes.
like, fashion
Oh my
and stuff
God.
like that, right? So A.B.A never went outside in Plus R, or prior to Plus R, I should say, right? So
Well, I'm pretty sure the story is that, like, it was her
Well, no, she
backstory
got
was
Parrot
that
as
she
well, yeah.
just went out, right?
yeah,
But
I'm pretty sure.
we had just never seen her. Like,
Yeah, she went
canonically
outside.
in the story.
She went outside to get Para this one time, and she went back
Yeah.
inside afterwards. But what I'm saying is, like, she's very isolated, right? So, what I like to think is probably why she wears 2 pairs of pants. Is she makes her own clothing, stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she would do that is like she would obviously have a pretty high interest in fashion because she makes her own clothes. You know what I mean? I like to think that's a little headcanon. I don't know. I
That
don't
makes
know
a lot
if
of sense too, because when you
intentional.
consider the things like medical bandages, you have to have a lot of practice to put on the bandages correctly. And obviously, she has a bunch of loose bandages as well. But I think that's more because she's a little imperfect and just kind of covers up any wound she has immediately by wrapping it. But I think maybe she found joy in wrapping those wounds all the time, and then took that interest in fashion after seeing how other people wear clothes instead of bandages and pants as shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her idea of like trying to be a part of that. I kind
it's
of like
very
her
nice.
boots, her like big clog boots, not clogs. Bleh.
Platforms.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows that she's a cool woman. But Melly, to your point about her misuse of idioms, those are actually still in the game for
what?
her round wind and round lost generic ones.
Oh, yes!
I'm seeing right here, when it rains, it roars. In for a penny, in for a pounding, and back to square zero.
Oh my God, I love her so
Then
much.
for her round
so
wind, she says,
dumb.
Pride comes-
back to square
Yeah.
0.
yeah, that's really good.
I'm
But,
using. I'm stealing
That's a
all
good
of these
spouse.
and using these. I'm using all of these. There's no way.
Yeah,
You know?
it's genius.
She
How fast,
she
like,
goes
square
online and she
one.
goes to the idiom
Square one.
generator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for her round wind, of course, she has pride cometh before a brawl. Big fish in small ponds don't get harpooned, and bone deep grudges get splintered. Which that one's that's so perfect. I love that for her.
God.
Really
I
getting that
always-
creepy grossness.
I always skip those animations, but now I kind of regret it because like
Yeah.
those are great. I want to see them now. They're funny.
I also like
Um,
her jealous raging one quote where she's like, "That's what you get."
Yeah. Yes. No. The delivery from the voice actor on that.
Her
I
face.
fucking love ABBA so much.
Her-
She's so
her face,
cool.
too.
She's so real.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
demented smile she pulls and how wrinkly her face gets when she says that, it's so funny to me. The way she's
Yeah.
looking over her shoulder, it's great.
Mhm.
More about like the delivery of the English voice actor. I like sometimes when you use key grab, she's like, "No, don't
Yes.
leave me."
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
good too.
And it's like it's sad on one hand, right? But also it's
Mhm.
like you are literally like have him strapped around your shoulder. Like he's not going
Relax.
anywhere.
Chill out.
Mhm.
My zoner to mid-range brain, the moment I have like ABBA's ultimate or like overdrive is just yes, full screen overdrive.
Mhm.
Yes. Let's do it.
That's
It
good.
works.
Yeah,
It works.
it's Guard Crushes. It's for getting in specifically for that. Yeah.
I can't do it as Sin, so I've got to do it as ABBA.
Mhm.
A topic I really wanted to bring up and that I neglected to say earlier on in the podcast was the fact that I was actually a perpetrator of misinformation on the last podcast, and the community-wide have had misinformation about ABBA. For the longest time, we were all told ABBA is not a Guilty Gear character. She was designed by Michi Mori, the creator of BlazBlue, and this is her OC that he worked with Daisuke to put into Guilty Gear. I am here to confirm, after interviews that we had, he did not make ABBA. All he did was voice the key, and he provided vague sketches for an axe-wielding character, of which he made a grandpa with a giant axe, to which then Daisuke was like, "That's boring," and he made ABBA instead.
Yeah.
Handed the sketch to Mori, and Mori was like, "What happened to the old man I made?"
It's like, oh yeah, you want an emo girl instead?
Mhm.
So
Have you-
this means, officially, I don't have to give Mori any credit for anything ever again!
Undo
Dude,
credit.
I knew it. ABBA's design was way too good to be designed by Mori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen that concept art where she has a little hatchet in her hand?
Yeah.
I've not seen that, but I
like-
guess that's where it came from then, right?
Yeah. Also, I didn't say this. I'm very glad the key looks more like an axe in this game. I remember saying a while ago that I wanted more axe wielders in like fighting games because I think axes are a fucking cool ass weapon. Like that one girl from Persona 4 Ultimax or whatever the game is called, I made her immediately because she has like a really fat axe and I love it a lot, right? Stuff like that. So Jealousy
like,
Rage, the way it looks more like an axe now, makes me very, very happy. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's interesting you say that because I've wanted for a fighting game for a long time there to be more baseball bat wielders, and all I can think of is Junpei from Persona, and like I think Negan and Tekken.
Oh, Negan too, right? I forgot he was there.
Yeah. Ness from Super Smash Brothers.
Ness from Super Smash Brothers.
There are more
everyone who moved over
characters
to
in
Guilty
fighting
Gear
games
after
than
Super
axe
Smash
characters.
Brothers ended.
Where are all the bat bastards in the world?
So true. AD shouting out his past running that Shuichi blog.
I remember. Don't
I really
remind me of my past.
I really like the move where she like lashes out of the bandage, and then she has like a follow up after it where she like spins Paracelsus into the bandages, and then like spins him back on the bandage.
He looks like the baby from Eraserhead when you do that.
It's like they're dancing together.
In the old games, you know, her Rekka was actually 3 hits, and she had like a different. You could do like a couple different follow ups instead.
It was Chip's Rekka essentially. It was an overhead version.
Almost, but the input was fucking weird.
Yeah,
but,
it's weird at first, but you get used to it.
The second hit of it was she would actually pull out like another key and like sort of like slash at them with like another like smaller key, which I think that's kind of funny that that's not really anywhere in her moveset anymore. Because it was only in that one move, really.
Yeah,
and also, like, instead of, like, you know, sliding, like, sort of, like, wrapping Paracelsus up with the bandages, what is it? Just, like, throw his head on the ground?
Yeah.
She would smash him into the ground. It was super satisfying because it was really, really good.
I kind of miss that you don't get ground slide off of it anymore, but it's still fun.
I think for gameplay reasons, it's better the way it is because it's just, like, hard knockdowns closer to A.B.A, so it's better for Oki, but... If it slid, it would probably be harder for her.
Yeah.
Oki? Yeah.
Oki.
I would just have the quotes open, so I figured I would mention this one because I thought it was particularly illuminating. But for the mirror match, A.B.A.'s quote is dull, delusional, senseless woman, wailing independence, and wicked, treacherous, worthless woman, empty imitation. And I think it's really easy to interpret that as like her being mad that she thinks that there's someone pretending to be her. But to me, it strikes me a lot more as just, again, her insecurities bubbling up to the surface about herself, that she thinks that she's not worthy of happiness and is recognizing the fact that she's so heavily dependent on Paracelsus. And empty imitation, I think, is a particularly fun line, because if you look past it as just like, oh, funny mirror match dialogue, I think it's supposed to be that in attempting to be like the people she sees in the outside world, that she's kind of suffering, that she's losing a part of herself, and it's clear that this is not the way that she wants to live. You know, where it's like it's easy to pretend that she has this ideal relationship, but the harsh reality is really confronting the way that they haven't been good to each other. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
I agree. It's clearly that there is like self-hatred within A.B.A that I'm really glad she deals with, or is starting to deal with in the story. And like her expressing herself more and more with fashion and with her relationship, I like the fact that she's actually starting to achieve some of that peace is really cool.
Yeah, and I think, again, it also speaks to the fact that, like, more than anything, she still is kind of using Paracelsus, just not in a way that's immediately evident, right? Because she's been thrust into this unfamiliar, isolating world, and now Paracelsus is her only refuge in a way where it's like making it so she doesn't have to confront the other problems that she has with just living and being herself, because she could just define herself as the wife of Paracelsus or someone who loves Paracelsus. So I thought that was cool.
Going back to gameplay a bit, I'm really liking how long her limbs are, especially like in her her 5P, 2P, and her little kicks. Like, I'm really surprised by how long her normals are. Obviously, they're not as fast as other characters, but her body anatomy is so satisfying. I kind of like it a lot.
Yeah, in Plus R, her 5K, very glad they kept it. It's not as good as it was before, because in Plus R, it's essentially the same. It's got good reach, but it would slide forward a little bit, right? And that would be your main poking tool and stuff like that. In this game, it's just a regular poking tool. But I'm very glad that they kept it. But
Brad, you don't know this, but you just said the 5K stuff. Me and Nep just spammed 5K together.
It's for the audience. It's for the audience.
Yeah,
we gotta demonstrate.
So, like, another thing too is just a nice little animation detail. The way her arm like just flails downward again like that after her 5P as well is very funny. I think it's really cute. Like she barely cares about like attacking anything in normal mode or stuff like that. And it's like I can't help but think, right, because this is another part of her theme. Circling back to our theme a little bit, but we're gonna keep talking about gameplay. The part referencing depression. So it's like, is A.B.A depressed in Strive at all? It would make sense if she is, because like she is very like mopey and like not very active in any sort of regard in her.
She's always been a little mopey, but it's how she expresses it, and like mopey because she's having to interact with people, mopey because she's dealing with herself, mopey because now she's realizing she can't keep what she has with Para forever, and she feels like she has to abandon it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I miss how her bar slash used to be yellow. I think that was really good. That was very, very good. I miss it immensely because I don't like her bar slash at all in this game.
They purposely made her very gimped in normal mode.
Her normal mode, 6H in the old game. Oh my god!
Oh my god! It would crank. It would crank the stun on counter hit.
It would crank your stun gauge like crazy.
Yeah. If you got hit by it twice, you'd be stunned, and she could probably instantly.
I remember when we did play A.B.A. I can't remember what move it was, but when we were playing A.B.A. in the first episode, I remember I did find one move which I found as the win button. And I used that a lot. I cannot remember what it was, but I was definitely pressing a win button every game.
Like all of her moves and stuff like that. Pretty well translated, I feel. Even her anti-airs, I fucking love how good they are. They're great.
Yes.
I can't believe we haven't talked about this aspect yet, and it's the fact that Paracelsus is goop now. How do you guys feel about Paracelsus being goop?
He's goopy globulous now.
He's a goopy guy.
Personally,
I just kind of miss the skull.
I am waiting frame 1 for a mod that turns goopy Paracelsus into actual blood with blood red color, because it looks a little too similar to Eddie for me, but I really do like the goop. But
I think it gives opportunity for very nice animation, which they 100% take advantage of. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's very talking from experience. It's very, very fun to draw from the thing I'm working on right now. It's really fun to draw.
Stay tuned, I guess, everyone.
That was not for that, but whatever. We could keep it as that.
Sorry.
I do.
They're gonna be huge.
I do like this. I do like how the skull is represented in the end of the axe. You can see the head of it poking out through the leather sleeve, and the axe blades are supposed to represent the horns of it and stuff like that. You can see the eyes on it and stuff. I do like that a lot. It's very nice design detail and stuff. But
something I noticed is that when she does Danzai in this game, in Jealous Rage, the teeth actually start flying off of the goop a bit. Like, they actually get off of the model. It's really cool.
Also, Danzai, instead of attacking with the blade, she attacks with the head of Paracelsus that transforms into like a hammer, like a meat tenderizer.
Yeah. Tenderize the opponent with Danzai.
So many creative, weird things that they do with Paracelsus in this, honestly.
It's great.
I like it though. It's different. Like personally, I think I do prefer attacking with the sword of Danzai. I love the original animation where it's just so. It's just such a nice curve, you know.
It's very
I love a good curved smear frame.
Smears.
I love the Mega Man Zero games. Like
yeah.
Jay is also a
good
huge
curved
fan.
smear frame does so much for my enjoyment of a video game.
That's so true.
Soul's jumping slash, fucking
yes.
Yeah.
Melly, I wanted to bring up, because you and I had talked about it a bit before, and I'm honestly really hard on the train now, and that's A.B.A and Fanny interacting, as they are both medical characters with giant things that they carry around.
And also, I ship them. I think they're really cute together for some reason. Just the very bubbly Fanny and the very not that A.B.A. And the fact that like Fanny would probably want to help A.B.A. She'd probably have a similar reaction to A.B.A. as Faust does in the Action 4 arcade mode.
Yeah, but
he's like, "Oh,
Fanny would
I need to help you immediately."
Silly shit. Isn't Fanny like not
Fanny
a good,
Fanny is not a good doctor. Fanny is the human WebMD. She thinks a common cold is like a deadly virus. She thinks that Faust has some incurable, deadly illness.
She'd be like,
have
"Oh
a
my
heart
god, are
attack
you sick?
looking at
Puts a shot on you, puts a shot on you, puts a shot on you.
Yeah.
Are you still sick?"
Like she would just be... But also, I do like the idea of, like, A.B.A being with an actual good medical professional, so it really depends on how I'm feeling on the day, but I think both interpretations of this ship are very cute.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Forgive me if I made this joke already in the first episode when we were talking about it, but if A.B.A and Fanny date, does that mean that Paracelsus gets to date the syringe?
Yes.
Yay!
I got a combo!
It's okay, repeating jokes is funnier the second time.
That is true, because for the people who remembered
true.
it, if I did that, then
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like
wow.
Working on a little
Yeah.
We just
comic
made a reference to the first
awesome.
episode.
You're part of the
Hold
fam
on.
if you can recognize the
Yeah.
reference.
And if you don't recognize the
Leave a
reference,
like
you're
if you
not a
got
real
that.
fan, and you should go back and watch every episode.
Yeah,
Fanny's the
absolutely.
first character of season 4. Confirmed. He just confirmed it here.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Daisuke told me.
Fanny's actually the last character of
We
season
are
3.
in contact
It's not
with
Slayer.
Daisuke officially,
Yes.
and this is definitely not endorsed at all.
He sends us encrypted Morse code messages
does.
about who the next characters will be.
I'd be so fucking happy if it was Fanny. I really like Fanny recently.
Dude, she's
Yeah.
so funny.
You've been a
She's
real big
funny.
Fanny fan.
I like her outfit a lot, and I've got a huge thing for girls with big foreheads, and I just think she's really fucking
She's
cute.
a big forehead girl.
A.B.A and Fanny are like twinsies. Big
I
forehead.
Abba's got
am
her
on
big
the
forehead too now.
Robokai
They could play tic-tac-toe on each other.
Hold on,
They're
It's like a
gonna
work
add
in progress of
Robokai
the
next
comic.
season. Totally.
touching really quick on A.B.A.'s newfound sort of friendship or awareness of Elphelt. I know that it was like definitely not as profound as her interactions with Testament, but I really do like Daisuke pairing them together like that because again, it speaks to another one of the foundational conflicts of A.B.A.'s character, which is the contrast between like an overdependence on love versus the notion of like actually healthy relationships that help build you as a person. Because I don't know if I've given this impression in a few of the previous episodes that I've spoken about, where it's like I feel like love is something that, while it can be nice to engage in when both people are like totally actualized and it's just like a fun bonus, I think there's nothing wrong with taking a relationship as this is an opportunity for us to help each other and help make each other better people. I don't think that speaks necessarily to dependence, but there is a fine line between that turning into actual dependence. So again, I think it's really cool to have both Elphelt and A.B.A. kind of address that to a degree where it's like, okay, with these relationships, you know, it can be healthy, but you are sort of running from something here. And you know, in a good relationship, they can help you confront that, or in a bad relationship, it's just an outlet, right? It's just an escape, so you can ignore a problem that you have. Yeah. And I'm really glad that we see, come the end of A.B.A.'s little arc at her arcade mode, that she's finally like, okay, well, let's work this out. Let me think about who I am and where I belong in the world, and actually how I feel, rather than just like, here's this one bucket I could put myself into and then not have to worry about anything else.
I think it also just makes sense, too, on a very basic level, that Alpha is the character so completely entrenched in the idea of love that having her come up and then be the arbiter that determines the fate of A.B.A and Paracelsus' relationship
with her lovey-dovey-dar.
With her lovey-dovey-dar.
With her lovey-dovey-dar.
It's adorable.
Alpha just being there as an accessory to test, like, hey, how good is your relationship? Like a game show host, kind of.
Yeah.
I think it led to a good dynamic.
I don't know if anyone will get this, but the Tamagotchi relationship meter with Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
how
hold on. I actually gotta find the picture. Wait, no, I'll just get my DS and picture. I added A.B.A and Paracelsus to my Tomodachi Life Island.
Yay!
I need them to make another Tamagotchi Life, because I have the old one, but like, I don't have my DS at the moment.
I know, I don't know why they're sleeping on this. The potential's right there.
So there is one thing which people joke about. This is a bit off topic, but after Tamagotchi Life, when gay relationships weren't a part of the game.
I know what you're about to say.
People were like, "Oh, add gay relationships to the game," and Nintendo's like, "Yes, okay. In the next game, when we make a sequel, we will add gay relationships to Tamagotchi Life."
Franchise
and then they never made a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
There's Metopia.
Yeah, I would say there is Metopia.
Yeah. Well, they're playing 4D chess of homophobia.
Mephobia?
We promise we'll add the gays into the next game.
Yeah.
We just won't make a next game.
Homophobia.
It's not even homophobia though, because they are Fire Emblem. That is an extremely gay game.
It is true. It is true.
It's just funny. It's a coincidence. That's so funny.
All right, to put us back on topic.
Of course.
We talked about A.B.A.'s voice actor, right? How much we like her. What about Paracelsus' new voice actor?
Yeah,
How do we feel
we
about
do
that?
have to talk about that.
It's a new direction, but I like it.
Yeah.
His voice actor is very passionate about it, and that's very cool.
Something I wanted to say too is that the voice actor, according to their own Twitter, said that this was a decision they made. They were like, "Hey, I'm just gonna mess around in the studio and see how you like this," and they went with it.
I actually like that. It's fun.
Very unique. I kind of like it a lot. It makes him very nerdy. Like, it wasn't even that, like, Paracelsus tamed A.B.A or anything like that. It was that A.B.A really tamed Paracelsus down.
Yeah.
Yuri Lowenthal sounding voice.
What I had, right? I'm pretty sure everyone's first reaction to Para's new voice was the no violence clip, right? I think that was everyone's.
No violence.
No violence.
when I heard that, I thought I don't like that much because I'm just too used to his plus R voice, right? But it's it was very, very high pitched and it was very different off the bat, right? But hearing him actually talk normally and stuff like that, I fuck with it immensely. I think it's very.
I like it. He's like the responsible nerdy dad.
Yeah.
It feels very purposeful, especially in some of A.B.A.'s taunts where she's like, "I can't believe that you would get in between us. I can't believe that this is everything you're doing." And then he's like, "Good work. You're doing a great job." It's like he's one of those fucking 2000s old computer programs.
You remind me of how I was before. It's very good. Yeah, I like it a lot. He's very calm. I like it. But it's he used to sound a lot deeper in Plus R. So
he was a demon.
I don't blame people for going I don't like this because it's very different. I don't blame them because it's it is a very different take. But I grew accustomed to it. I think it's fine now.
Yeah, I respect that they're still allowing people to take risks with characters like this and change them up in fun ways that still really work for their characters. Because I feel especially for the horror illusions that you get with A.B.A, having Paracelsus sound like a little weird geek boy really works with that,
It's so interesting, too. I really want to one day see an interview or talk with the Strive voice director, because they have some interesting decisions. They decided, Paracelsus, your voice actor, you can do whatever you want. I really like this direction, and it works out pretty well with what we're going for. That's great. And then they went to Octopimp Axel and said, "Can you just do a really shitty accent? Just as awful as you can do it." And Octopimp being like, I don't know if I want to do that. And they're like, "No, just go for it."
I like how silly
Axel's
Axel
voice,
sounds.
though. It's so good.
Yeah.
I really love
really
Strive
funny.
Axel because he's just using the
Did you see when he did the clip of "Hey, what's good?"
Oh yeah, the voice actor did that. I
Ladies,
remember.
what's good? Hey ladies, what's good?
I love that. Yeah. I also like when you wall break or when you send A.B.A through the wall, her and Paracelsus scream and stuff like that. I think it's a very funny little touch as well. Mm-hmm. Also, Melly, fucking A.B.A Guilty Gear and Paracelsus A.B.A. I love that so much.
Yeah.
their full names and stuff like that. That's adorable.
Yeah. A lovely couple.
But it's like A.B.A like the band and not A.B.A.
Yeah.
You know, here's a question. It's so interesting that her name is A.B.A because I cannot picture A.B.A listening to Dancing Queen at all. But maybe that's her and Paris' song.
I can, personally.
It's her secret, like, she just indulges in it sometimes, you know? When no one's looking.
I do feel like A.B.A would enjoy, like, stuff like that and maybe classical music as well. Because she has a piano in her room.
Give me a Man After Midnight. Yeah. Dude, that's so her.
That's 100%. I think that's... Oh yeah, like 100% actually. Now that I think about it.
That's something Daisuke was trying to convey with her appearance in Strive too, is that in a lot of ways she's a misplaced girly girl, because like I think more than anything she would like to listen to girls just want to have fun and do like beauty vlogs and fashion reviews, but she just so happened to be born a homunculus, and that has presented her with some interesting challenges in life, and then also some unique perspective that she's probably very grateful for come the end of her arcade mode.
There's the added angle too that it's not even that she's exactly facing challenges in her life, it's that she's facing self-perceived challenges in life.
Exactly, like, exactly.
Also, can I get in the game on this next match?
Oh, yes, sorry.
You're fine. It's just there's somebody else in the lobby.
I probably need to...
is there only one person involved? Oh,
join the game.
I didn't know.
I was too busy talking. I got kicked from your room, and I just like...
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because if you're too idle, it kicks you and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, get
actually, no, I'm just an evil, horrible person, and I kicked you because I hate you. Die.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, I can't believe you do that.
No, the code should still be in Discord if you want to get back in.
Yeah,
that was just, yeah, D having a little evil devil moment.
I was in jealous rage.
Yeah.
Devil Jim.
My husband?
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, can I spectate someone? My hands need a break.
Yes. Face. Rat, get
Unless,
in.
Nap, you need a break more than me.
I'm gonna... Do you want to fight me, Molly?
I'm alright, but I do want to step away for like just a second, and then I'll be right back. So, if you guys want to do like a game and then like switch over again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a little bit sad that A.B.A doesn't have any like swirly eyes in this game at all, because during her Dizzy animation in the old games, her eyes would be little spirals, and it was
They
so
gave
cute.
all of her swirly animations to Para, it feels like.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of eyes, I really like her eye color in the game.
Oh,
yes.
So me being an art loser, I would look at a lot of A.B.A art and stuff like that for reference, and her eye color is very, very inconsistent with with what color it is, right? Like sometimes it's brown. Oh, okay, right. So in Slash, it's like two different ones in Plus R, right? So her regular Plus R render, it's like very light green. It's very, very green, right? But in the render that plays when it's like you're about to start a match and it shows the two characters going past the screen, it's like a milky blue. It's very like white and milky and stuff like that. It's like
yeah, it's like gray almost.
Yeah. So them kind of officially making it an in between, being like it's a very milky bluish gray, but it's got some green in it and stuff like that. I'm fine with that. I fuck with it. I like it. It's a nice color.
Yeah.
Very different and helps communicate that she is a homunculus.
Speaking of eye colors, I really like how in some of A.B.A.'s alt colors it changes the white of Paracelsus's eyes to be like black and evil. Like especially I think on her red, white, and black alt. Like Para just looks like an like evil skeleton.
And
evil skeleton.
When people were playing the demo for her at what is it, Arc Revo, or was it Arc Revo or Arc World Tour?
Arc World Tour.
Yeah, there was like the footage of people playing on the TV and stuff like that, and someone was using color 7, and they did Jealousy Para, and his eyes looked like pink and bloodshot and stuff like that. They look different. I
love it.
He's stressed. he needs a break.
That's
he needs
probably
to relax.
the color that I would use if I wasn't using the ooze color.
Yeah.
Made like an evil, fucked up version of A.B.A. Just to look into my twisted mind.
My dark twisted version of ABBA where it's CS underscore caraphase underscore ABBA underscore 2. My game is broken. Help.
I'm in the room, Melly. Just let me know when you want to play.
All right.
How do you guys
I'll go
feel
after
about
this one so you
ABBA's?
can rest your
We've
hands,
talked
Dee.
about her voice quite a bit, but how do you guys feel about the voice change difference between Plus R and now? Where before she sounded very zombified, now she sounds more. I don't know how to describe
Well,
it. She
her-
sounds
Okay, right?
very
Her
unique.
English voice is a lot less guttural than her Japanese voice. I think her Japanese voice is very similar to how she was in Plus R, but also sort of how she was in Isuka almost, because she has a lot more of those screaming lines in Isuka.
But,
She does not
yeah,
scream Danzai
she-
at all in Plus R.
It's very interesting. Not a lot of people know that she has like 2 voice actors in Izuka and Plus R, which I find pretty interesting.
Wait,
Right?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool.
the Isuka voice actor is very much more in tune to what it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they use the Isuka voice as a reference, but they put some influences of the more zombified guttural Plus R performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, with the eye color and stuff like that, it's a nice in between of the both, and I am very happy with it
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I still
It's
prefer
so
the Japanese
interesting.
voice actor, but
Yeah.
I think the English voice actor is pretty good too. And this is like the one time, because I always prefer the English voice actors. There's just something about her performance in Japanese that I really, really like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting, like how you mentioned before, like, ABBA is so hodgepodgey between all of her different releases. It's so cool, but in every one, she's still quintessentially ABBA in each of them. I like all the different takes people take on her, like whether with her eye color, with her voice, with her design, with her hair now. Very fun.
It's all fun, yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing people draw her with long green hair, but it's like still got like the bangs and it's still like spiky like her old hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think ABBA's a very
pretty
fun
sure,
character to redesign.
that's
like-
why I draw
Like
her
Ramona's icon
nonstop.
is actually just that, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. She's
yeah.
wonderful. I love her.
One thing I noticed as well, well, regarding ABBA's moveset, so in Isuka, right, her moveset was like pretty much the same as Plus R, except she had a 6K. She had a 6K and it was an overhead, right?
Mhm.
And that move wasn't in Plus R, and they didn't give her a 6K in Strive. However, that 6K came back as her kick move in normal mode and stuff like that. The one where she like low brushes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like where she basically, it's basically a drop kick, but like where she puts both feet up in the air and stuff like that. It's different than when it was in Plus R, but it's using the same animation as the one in Isuka, which I find pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I've noticed that very recently.
I really like her. She doesn't have her flip kick anymore, which I think on one hand I'm okay with, because why was it unblockable? Why was it?
She needed
Was it
really?
It was needed.
Yeah, it wasn't even an overhead. It's just straight up ground unblockable.
To jump back a bit, you guys were saying earlier that ABBA could be the potential, like, arcade partner of Slayer, or it would be in collaboration with Slayer in some way. And I just wanted to bring up that it feels like all the Strive's latest DLC characters all interact with each other in some way. Like, Asuka mentions ABBA as an experiment. May brings up Elfel in Johnny's arcade mode. Elfel is now a part of ABBA's mode. It's very interesting.
and,
They're all
Coming
so
one
connected.
after the other.
Sin in Sin's arcade mode, they bring up Dizzy.
They made us wait a whole season from Asuka's arcade mode to ABBA release.
I guess it's true then that, like, we're going a whole season without Dizzy then.
No!
I
I
have no
know.
issue with that.
Oh, that just means that we get Webaka.
No!
I'm fine with that.
I hate you.
Fight!
Dizzy Nation is.
I don't want
will-
another zoner in Strive right now.
I
Asuka
want
is
7
too much.
more. I want
Okay, but hear
Slayer
me
to
out.
be a zoner now.
I think they should add all of Asuka's clones in just their own season, like season 5, just for the season of Asuka.
Oh yeah, season 5, you get like the boss fight Asuka.
Yeah.
You get Asuka Ultra Instinct.
We need it. We need it.
Guys, I'm so sick and tired. Strive Season 5, they added Blue Asuka, which is so annoying. They just added Red Asuka. I'm so tired of this.
They should add Asuka after not surviving.
Dude,
They should.
when
They
is
should add
Orange Pie
Dizzy,
coming?
but change all of her projectiles to just be Asuka. Wait, they should add Robokai, and then when Robokai's got like high power, he's just like the super arcade boss version of Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
God, I really
They
love
add
this
Venom,
Abba
and he
you're
just hits
playing with.
Asuka's.
Oh
They just
my
hit
goodness.
Asuka's cubes with a cool cube.
Yeah.
How do you play pool with balls that are cubes?
You have to hit them very
Venom would
hard.
find a way. No, I'm waiting for them to add Venom, and he's just like playing pool with sourdough starters.
But anyways, I wanted to bring up that ABBA, especially in this all, looks extremely Hot Topic in a good way. I love Hot Topic.
Yeah.
She's so Evo.
Strive has
Oh, yeah.
seeded an emo goth girl, and I'm so
How do-
glad we have her.
How do we feel about her color alts in this game?
She has
I
great
like-
ults. Wow.
I think
Yeah,
like
no, they
some
went
of them are
above and
good. I don't.
Alt 2
like
just kind of
most
brings
of
back
them.
her old colors.
I do like that.
I'm
Dude,
not a big
everybody
fan
who's
of a lot of
complaining about the green hair, I'm like, dude, her color 2 is going to be her original
I think
color.
the only one
like-
I don't like is her Goku one, where she's got like the orange outfit and the blue hair. If only because I think it clashes a little too much, but
I think
It-
having
it
Sans
reminds
from
me of,
Undertale in 13, 14, and 15 is good.
Dude, color 13, the ooze.
Yeah, you get
Ooze.
Sans from Undertale.
The ooze.
Yeah,
I
I'm
I
a
like her
big fan
10
of
color. Her 10 color's quite nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like color 1, 2, 7, and 10 are my favorites. I'm using 10 right now. I like it a lot. I like 10 a lot because it just gives her pants, and I think it works really well with her boots and stuff.
It does.
whenever I play the game, I usually always pick either default or denim. I really just like how all those look. I don't know
I'm
what it
so
is.
sad that her denim alt gets rid of her eye bags, though.
Yeah,
Does it?
yeah. I saw.
Yeah, it gets rid of her eye bags, and it does
They
something
make her look
else.
so normal,
Oh, it
especially with like the
does.
blonde hair.
I think
That's
there's also
kinda-
no bloodstains on that one either.
No,
But it
there
sucks,
isn't.
it's
There's no
like-
bloodstains.
I love the denim alt for Bridget. You know how it has like that, like the Roger on the back of her jacket, and it says like "Simple Life." I love that. And then like Elfelt's denim color, where she's just wearing like
Her jutes,
like-
her dirt.
well, yeah, but also like
Yeah.
like she's like, you know, just like it's like a jean jacket now, and she's just like wearing like like leggings with like little shoes. I forget the exact word for them. I'm not sure if it's Mary Jane's, but
I gotta say, I think one of my favorite ABBA colors has to be her, I don't know which number it is, but her new color, it's the orange one, where it makes her axe look like it's like glowing with
15.
lava and like evil energy. It's really cool.
Oh,
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, the esports colors, like the ones that Melly's using right now.
The esports colors, except they get banned because they're too glowy and it's hard to see what's going on.
Wait, they actually are banned?
I'm pretty sure some characters, like specifically Chip as well. Chip's esports colors are all banned because the glowing kind of makes it hard to see for
Oh my
some of
God.
them, I think.
Wow,
I might
can
have
have
been
no
doing this
idea.
information, but I have
for
heard
like the
that from
arcade,
somewhere.
for like the
Yeah. It's
like
just like
the
harder to
PS4
see what they're
colors.
doing. So the faster the character is, the more likely it is to get banned, I think.
It doesn't matter. I feel like with the banning skin color thing, it's always difficult to do because you'll always have people like Leffen that always picks orange Happy Chaos because it hides dust, and like people that always pick like Zato color, I think 5 it is, or sorry, no, color, whatever the white one is, and then go on Potemkin stage just to hide Eddie.
I think if you're having to pick colors just to hide like certain things your character can do, that's like
It's scummy.
That reminds
game.
me of Broly
It's
in
just-
Dragon Ball Fighters. So in that game, like the equivalent of throw is Dragon Rush, which has like a green circle around you as
Oh
an
my
indicator.
God.
And then
I can't
Broly
imagine.
can give himself a green shield that
Oh god.
that deflects like all projectiles, or at least all like small projectiles. at least.
Like, I get banning colors when it's literally something that hides, like, certain game mechanics.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Yeah.
that can just be annoying. And it's like, that's not even my fault. I meant to see that, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel like is Abba's best matchup in Strive from what you've played? Nap, I know you only just recently picked her up, so...
My 5 minutes of playtime.
I have only played her against A.B.A, May, and Bridget.
So true.
Because this is my second day playing her. I just haven't gotten that much time because I've been sick.
It doesn't help that she released 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Yeah.
I know she's bad against zoners, but I do think it's really funny that if you time it, you can go under all of the zoners' projectiles.
Yeah, they're good. I think matchups where she would probably excel. Like, I'm not the biggest. Like, I'm not a pro in Strive. You know what I mean? Like,
I am not either. Very clearly.
I don't think I'm one to talk about this stuff very much, like effectively. Someone like, I don't know, like a pro player, like what's his name, Hotashi or something like that, is more valuable to talk about it.
God, dude,
but from what I can tell,
A.B.A stream.
Yeah,
it's so
it's funny.
I didn't get to watch his A.B.A stream. How did he pilot her? Was he okay?
He was good.
Yeah. Well, it was just. He's such a villain. He's such a super villain. That one clip he posted.
He's maniacal.
Now I'll finish it. Stop time.
Yeah, it's really good. I would say she's best against characters that need to be in your face the entire time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and especially characters with small health where she could touch them twice and they're dead, right? So,
Chip.
Characters perhaps like Chip or Amelia or something like that. You know what I mean? Every time I fight Amelia, I usually do fairly well. Because I get in
Asuka,
Moroha,
right?
and then they explode. Asuka too, but Asuka is a crazy fucking zoner. So like,
Yeah.
It feels like
They gave
Danze's a
Amelia
really
back her
Should be good
damage
against
from
Asuka.
plus R.
Asuka just didn't do anything.
It feels like Danze's a really good answer into Milia's new move Artemis too, because it just feels like it would cover that.
Yeah, it's because it's so armored all over
yeah.
that like it doesn't matter if you're getting crossed up. And also, it does hit behind you. I think on the second hit.
I think.
Oh god, she's
sure.
so crazy. I love her.
Yeah.
God.
I do know that her super, in some instances, it's really funny. I was fighting an Elfelt this one time,
Yeah.
and they had tried doing the grenade toss, right? And what they did was they did it, and I used my reversal super, and it clipped her from the top, and she was behind A.B.A. But when the move finished, like during the second hit, it goes behind her back, and it hit the Elfelt, and it broke the wall because of it.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm running out of topics to talk about with A.B.A, and I feel like we
Yeah.
covered a lot of really
We
good
covered
ground.
a lot. We're hitting almost like 2 hours, I think, with the podcast.
Yes.
I'm very
That's
satisfied.
yeah.
That means
Yeah.
A.B.A has had the most time to be talked about because she's at 3 hours then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are literally reaching 2 hours and 30 seconds. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
think
god.
A fucking queen.
Yeah, I think we've got enough stuff to make a good podcast and stuff like that for now.
I just wanted to ask everyone, any closing thoughts, any final things we didn't touch upon, anything like that?
Yeah.
I like
Love Perry.
her, and I want to kiss her.
Mm.
She very silly. She has key through head. She like Frankenstein, but now she's fashionable.
I think she should kiss girls.
So true.
So true. And one last very important
While
question before I...
Paracelsus watches.
He's putting the key in the cup chair. Oh.
But yeah, one very last
yeah.
important question. Do you think A.B.A was a good addition to Strive, and do you think
Absolutely.
Do you think you'll
100%.
continue playing her over Plus R, A.B.A?
I deleted Plus R when she got in.
No
Really?
way! Wow.
Holy shit.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Realness.
That's exaggerating, but like I did
Oh my
delete Excerpt
God.
when Elfelt got in. I deleted
Yeah,
Excerpt when
wow,
Elfelt
wow.
got in.
That's crazy. No, I had a few closing thoughts.
I'm so glad to hear that you guys really like her in Strive.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of characters that once they get added, there's nothing but complaints. Like, I think
Yeah.
when I get to Sin, I'm gonna hear it. When I get to Elfo, literally, Elfo's the next episode I'm doing. The people I have on there are telling me, yeah, can we not do Strive? I don't like her in Strive. But
Yeah.
seeing how much love
Gameplay-wise
there
or
is for
story-wise?
A.B.A, gameplay-wise.
Well, I think part of it is that A.B.A is so similar to her plus R counterpart. Like they didn't change her that much. And what they did change, like her game plan is still generally the same. Where it's like you do sometimes want to end combos with key grab to get back your jealousy gauge.
Yeah,
rather than to get back your
a
health,
bunch of jealousy gauge back. So
there's still there's something we did not mention, right? And that is like A.B.A's entire point is risk reward, right?
Yeah.
That is the
She is
entirety
risk
of the
reward
gameplay.
the character.
Yeah, so you're gonna die, by the way. Never mind, it didn't reach.
Stupid.
So
stop what you're saying, just to announce for death.
yeah, let me like take a break so I can like focus
Time
on what
of
I'm
death
about to say, right? So it's like A.B.A's whole deal on plus R was risk reward, right? And I feel it is essential if you want to bring A.B.A over to Strive, you need the risk reward, right?
Yeah.
And it is still here to an extent, right? It is not as risky as it was before because she doesn't lose health. However, you are in such a terrible state in normal mode that like if you want you can end your offense switching back to normal mode, right? And still have meter to spare, or you can risk it and continue the combo, right? At the risk of losing all of your meter and not having anything to rely on, right?
Yeah, when you're in jealousy mode, you do become really strong.
Because of it.
But I feel like it makes it very easy to just not practice normal mode, and that would make you a lot weaker.
Wait, also, I just realized how funny it is that both me, A.B.A, and me, Paracelsus are in the independent personality group.
I've seen,
fucking not.
I've seen there's this one person on Twitch, they play Faust, they're really good at Faust, but they were saying that they've been playing A.B.A and they've only been playing in normal mode and not the jealousy. That when they do
They're
start
crazy
playing
for that, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
I heard that's what Gobo's trying as well. Sorry, no, someone else. I forget who, but they're trying
like
out as much as they can with
and then when you
normal.
take the weights off, you just become like insane.
Well, it's like I think normal mode A.B.A in Strive is way worse than normal mode A.B.A in plus R, because normal mode A.B.A in plus R, she still has Blood Ball, she still has her like normal mode super.
Pack. We didn't say this either. She's missing the blood pack entirely, which is like.
Oh, that is true. It does kind of make it easier though for her because it means that she isn't limited by the number of times she can just activate it herself.
Yeah, but still, the thing is, right? If in plus R, if you're fighting against like Venom or something like that, right? A zoner, right? If you can't get in normal mode to use key grab to get into Moroha, you would rely on the blood bag, right? Which is a nice risky thing because you only have so many, you know.
Yeah,
that,
but
not being in this game
there's
makes you
nothing
struggle
like that.
immensely against zoners and stuff like that.
I mean, you can activate it for free. It just doesn't give you any meter, so you do end up having to like build the meter yourself anyway.
I saw a clip of Strive that was so plus R of Bridget just flying away.
Yeah.
In the sky while A.B.A was stuck and wasn't able to do anything like that.
And
that
if
is,
you close your eyes,
dude, the world is healing.
She can still get zoned out and timed out. Or with Bridget, I mean.
My final thoughts.
I do think... Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm gonna say this and then I'm done with like balance-wise with A.B.A, right? So it's like... Yeah. My final thoughts are to make her better, give her a passive way of earning jealousy. You know what I mean? Either make it... I feel like when she's in normal mode, it should fill up to the maybe just gain a
little bit on hit, you know? Because that would make sense, you know? Get jealous when you take damage.
Oh, on hit? Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's fine, yeah. But another thing, too, is... damn it, I probably forgot. Hold on. Let me think about it for a second, then I'll get back to you on that.
I think what I would do is I would make it so that one super doesn't completely drain her jealousy rage. I think they did it as like a gating off power, you know, because obviously she gets a huge overdrive and can continue pressure as soon as wall breaks, but I just feel like...
Maybe make the long-range one... What if the long-range one, when she isn't in jealousy mode, is a lot weaker, but it does fill up her jealousy gauge? Because then you can use that full
that could be it too.
And have some jealousy off of it, with a chance to get in afterwards.
I remember now. Another thing too that I think needs to go away is having jealousy run out during her grab. I think that is awful.
Yeah.
Also, I wish she could gain jealousy from her grab.
Yeah. She needs more ways of getting jealousy in neutral because, like, at the moment...
Let her gain jealousy while she's in jealousy if she grabs.
She is stuck at the other side of the screen without any way of getting in because of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my final thoughts on her
Like,
balance
they did
wise.
give
Other
her,
than
like,
that, I think she's
little
fine.
block and, like, the low-profile advancing move, but it's not enough, really, when characters have things that can stop
I
that.
think they should make her Rekka ground slide like crazy.
I also think, one more thing, right? Just make it to where, when she's not, have it passively go up to the little tick in the meter and not have it go up any higher, and then that is it.
Yes.
You have to be skillful and do stuff to get it to go higher and stuff like that, and that is it.
But you'll still have that little itty bitty bit.
Yeah, you can still go
there.
in and stuff like that. I think that is a fine balance change.
Give her stun dipper.
Jay, do you have any final closing thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think it's so demonstrative of how deeply Daisuke treasures all of his characters that even with more than a decade passing since the last time A.B.A showed up in a game proper, that he still evidently was really considering how to remain true to this really beloved character and how to advance and iterate on her themes and her gameplay in such an organic way that has gotten so many people interested in Guilty Gear again who were tuned out of the series for so long, and I'm so happy that they can have A.B.A in the way that they always dreamed of. I think that that's like so awesome.
I think it says a lot too that they said A.B.A getting in the game had nothing to do with the popularity poll. They were already planning to implement her because Daisuke felt it was time for her to come back and he wanted to try something new. And something that came out from the interview recently that really shocked me is that he said they do not think in terms of gameplay when adding a character. They think purely in terms of, would this character be cool to add? And would they have a place in the cast? And would their story be cool? And it makes me...
Dizzy is coming back in season 4.
Coming back.
Dude, it would have to be crazy if Dizzy didn't come back. That would be actually wild to me.
They tease Slayer of the Bats, but what if Dizzy just really likes bats?
What if Dizzy just did her hair differently this time?
Yeah.
Do bats like tangerines? Could it be a reference to Robokai?
But yeah, thank you guys all for joining me. I had a really wonderful time playing A.B.A and being around you guys.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I think they brought her back very well. They did a great job with her.
I'm very happy with her. Very, very happy with her.
Thank you all for watching. See you next episode. Bye!
Happy Melly Monday! Happy Melly Monday!
Bye-bye.
Happy Melly Monday!
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.